but it could save a life. Here's a way to start a conversation. Your family is going over to your neighbor's home for dinner for the first time. How would you ask if there are any unlocked guns in the home?
Hey,
we're so excited for tonight. Before we come over, though, may I ask if there are any unlocked guns in your home?
our guns are stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access.
Awesome.
Learn how to have the conversation at agreetoagree.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Admin a la carte are specialized local experts committed to helping you run your small business. From general admin and sales support to marketing, digital media and technology to real estate and compliance. Admin a la carte's only goal is to take your business to the next level. Find out how Admin a la carte can elevate your business. Visit admin-alacarte.com for more information. That's admin-alacarte.com. Admin a la carte. Your business doesn't fit into a box. Why should you have to?
This episode of the Outlaw Radio Network is brought to you by Destination Highway 420 in Bremerton. Looking for a knowledgeable cannabis shop with a great local vibe? Destination Highway 420 offers a wide selection of Washington State cannabis products, including flower, pre-rolls, edibles, and concentrate from trusted producers across the state. Their friendly staff can help you find exactly what you're looking for in a relaxed, welcoming environment. Visit Destination Highway 420 at 1225 Hollis Street in Bremerton. Must be 21 or older with valid ID.
This is McGruff the Crime Dog, and I need you to help me take a bite out of crime. Another teenager fell victim to fake pills. Smells like big crime that needs to be stopped. Where are these pills coming from, and how are kids getting them? Right from under our noses, crooks are targeting kids on social media and selling them counterfeit pills that could seal their fate with the click of a button. It may seem harmless, maybe it doesn't even seem like a drug deal, but it definitely is. So before buying pills online, think about this. Should buying prescription pills be that easy? Think these pills are tested and safe? Think they're the same ones you get from a doctor? You know they're not. Did you know that many fake pills contain fentanyl, and an amount small enough to fit on the tip of a pencil can be lethal? Listen, before buying pills from social media, think again. Learn more at mcgruffpsa.org and go for real. Brought to you by USPTO and the National Crime Prevention Council.
Are you ready to elevate your spirits? Look no further than Black Rain Spirits, your local craft distillery nestled in Town Square Mall. Indulge in the smooth richness of our handcrafted spirits, meticulously distilled to perfection. Whether you prefer the bold kick of our bourbon or the subtle sophistication of our gin, Black Rain Spirits has something for every palate. Visit us today at Town Square Mall and experience the essence of true craftsmanship. Black Rain Spirit, where passion meets perfection, unconventionally traditional. On a recent episode of the Outlaw Radio Network,
some of our listeners even appreciated you dumbing it down for them. So, on behalf
Sometimes
of
I have to mansplain for people like. By the way, mansplaining is when men explain things to a woman in a condescending tone. I just mansplaining.
That's the Outlaw Radio Network, Sunday night at their new time from 6 to 10.
You're listening to the Outlaw Radio Network, powered by our friends at Destination Highway 420, proudly supporting our veterans in the Bremerton community. Visit them online at destinationhighway420.com. 21 and over.
Cannabis has intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming. Keep out of the reach of children.
Never give in. Never give in. Never, never, never. In nothing, great or small, large or petty, never give in except to convictions of honor and good sense. Never yield to force. Never yield to the apparently overwhelming might of the enemy.
You're listening to the Outlaw Radio Network. OutlawRadioNetwork.com.
This country can't be knocked out with one punch. We get right back up again, and when we do, the world's going to hear the roar of our engines.
But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
You do your work, and we will do our bit.
Republic. I like this sentiment. It means people can live free, talk free, go or come, buy or sell, be drunk or sober, however they choose.
Are you ready to be who you are?
No poetry, just a straight answer.
The government has deliberately sought to deceive the United States by false statements and expressions of hope for continued peace.
We are men of the hood. That ain't now a good exchange.
But there's no both sides anymore. They're just trying to wreck our goddamn country. It's time for you younger guys to take over.
You meant to be here tonight. This is your time. Their time is done. It's over. Screw them. This is your time. Now go out there and take it.
If you guys don't start thinking as men, we're gonna have a lousy country.
For the crimes of incitement to cause unrest, I decline to be an outlaw!
All right, everybody, it is the Outlaw Radio Network. It is the 5th of April, 2026. Most importantly, happy Easter, everybody. Happy Easter, happy Easter. Hi, Tom.
Hey, buddy.
What's going on, buddy? Happy Easter to you.
Well, happy Easter to you, too.
Are you in an Eastery mood? Like, do you celebrate the Easter holiday? Like, what's your deal with Easter?
It's casual. Easter's a casual holiday for me.
Casual as in do you do like Easter baskets, and do you do any of that kind of stuff?
Not really.
Or,
not really.
No. Did you ever do candy egg? Did you ever do egg hunts for Isaac when he was little? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just,
Did you do an egg hunt for Dennis this morning?
No, I was up and out the door this morning to a job. I spent most of the day on an excavator or in a hole with a shovel.
You know what would be a great Easter egg hunt idea for Dennis?
What's that?
You get some of those little plastic eggs and you put weed in them, and then you hide them in really difficult places. Dennis would tear the house apart looking for them.
Well, I'd like to go on that Easter egg hunt.
I know you would. I know. Hey, so Paul will be with us in a little bit remotely. He had family stuff to do today, so he's going to join us by video. Beeler is off tonight. She had family stuff to do because it is Easter.
She's in the chat. She just said hi, guys.
Oh, did she? I didn't even see that. I don't have the chat up yet, but I will in just a moment.
I honestly think the perfect Easter egg hunt for Kevin is take a bunch of plastic eggs, fill them all with the scent of woman, and throw them all over his yard and watch him lose his shit.
Perfect.
Actually, phone numbers of women.
Actually, if you just
no
took
names,
yeah,
you just took
a
some
random
good.
phone number.
Hold on, listen, you just got some good rare steak. That'd be fine. I could handle that just fine. Anyway, thanks for checking out the show, guys. We appreciate it. We hope that you're having a great Easter holiday. Lori, what did you do for the big Easter holiday?
Thanks for introducing me. Hey.
Sorry, I'm in tremendous back pain. I'm very tired. I'll tell you all why I'm
teasing
tired in a second. But go on. Go ahead.
Had 3 out of 4 adult children, and additions over. So my grandson.
Additions, you mean grandkids? Okay.
Yeah, my grandson.
You don't look old enough to have grandkids, Lori.
Aw,
just
thank
so we're
you.
clear. Yeah, I'm in my Easter nice mood, so there you go.
Thank you. Yeah, no. Had ham and mashed potatoes and beans and onions and garlic bread
Nifty.
baguettes and
Cool.
and crepes. When I brought you guys the chocolate crepes.
Yeah, the crepes.
I really worked hard on making.
You brought
Up at Costco.
some Twinkies, which will survive through the apocalypse. You brought
Yeah.
some cupcakes,
Mhm.
not the good cupcakes, like the kind that you get when your parents made them for your birthday party and they frost them
No.
themselves. You mean like the Hostess cupcakes?
Yeah.
Not that they're not good. I'm not pooping on your gift. I'm just saying they're, when we say cupcakes, it could be two different things.
You have to understand, my dad worked for Hostess and Wonder Bread delivering.
Oh.
And so my freezer when I was growing up was full of, the cupcakes, the Twinkies, the Ho-Hos, the pies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a fat kid. I'd have been a fatter kid if I had your dad.
My uncle delivered. I think it was Red Baron. When I was a kid, he delivered for
Love Red Baron
frozen Red Baron pizzas.
Mhm.
So yeah, there were always, we go visit my uncle, and there were cases of frozen. Oh yeah.
Beeler, since you're in the chat, you could be in person in studio eating some of these wonderful Twinkies and Ho-Hos. So feel free to make yourself down to the studio. Do we know if Cremello is open tonight? Our favorite ice cream shop in the mall?
No, they are not.
Damn it.
We tried to open today just for business. The collectors down the mall were open till like 3,
Mhm.
and there was one other business. They were open till 2 or 3.
And just no traffic in the mall?
No, there was none.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing against your wonderful establishment, but I don't imagine there's a lot of people going out to get craft distilled spirits on Easter.
No,
that
not
to me
really.
feels like
You'd be
something
surprised.
but that to me feels like something they would shop for beforehand, right? Like if I'm going to take some of Tom's amazing candy apple red to my holiday gathering for Easter, they're probably going to pick it up in advance, I would think.
Yeah.
That'd be my guess.
I wasn't I wasn't in the distillery yesterday. F-Bomb was holding down the fort. But we had a pretty decent day yesterday because people were shopping for the, Sunday family gathering.
Yeah. Well, listen, when you hang out with family members, you have to be a little drunk.
Well, I think it varies from family to family. but
Especially-
that's probably a like 80% universal truth.
Yeah, especially when politics come up or religion comes up.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, then you have to be a little bit drunk. Dennis, how did you celebrate your Easter? Did you do anything exciting? Did you see your grandkid?
Just videos. I talked to my granddaughter for a brief few minutes, but she wanted to get back outside to playing.
Okay. All right. Playing is good. Steven Sanchez says, "Love it, bro." Don't even know what you're talking about. Isaac said hi, Dad, by
I
the
was
way.
just going to address that actually.
Say hi to Isaac first.
I did in the chat. Hi, bud.
Happy Easter, Isaac.
Yeah. So Steven is a classmate of mine from high school.
Oh.
And
Wait, Steven's got Tom stories from high school. Steven,
Right?
you should be on the show.
Steven.
Don't hold out
Reach
on
out
us,
to me.
bro. Come on, bro.
Yeah. Let's go.
So,
Come on, bruh.
Steven came back to connect with family and stuff here in the area, and we ran into each other and it just kind of reconnected from a long pause since high school. So I told him about the show, and here he is.
And here he is. Congratulations, Steven. You're now part of the Outlaw Faithful.
Yeah.
I think that you'll be very happy to know that Tom is exactly the same guy that he was in high school.
Is he?
God, I hope
Yeah,
not.
yeah, he is. Dennis, so what did you do? I know you said you saw some videos. Did you do anything else for Easter? I don't want to belittle your experience.
My family usually gets together and has a Easter brunch.
You see your sister? Is that what
Yep.
you did? Yeah. Okay, good.
Oh, brunch is a really great idea. I should
Yeah,
do
but
that instead.
Food is a really good idea.
Well, yeah, food.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, F-Bomb and I went to one of the Buckholtz Easter brunches one year. There was a couple.
In those get-togethers, you do not leave.
You don't leave hungry.
Nope.
No.
No.
Okay.
Oh, breakfast was excellent, or brunch was excellent, and I love brunch. You know why I love brunch?
Mimosas, Bloody Marys.
I was going to say because it's acceptable to include bourbon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you need an excuse to include bourbon, Tom? Because I feel like you could justify bourbon anytime.
You
Well-
could justify drinking before 5 p.m.
I-
or
well,
even before noon.
I mean, when I'm in the distillery working, I mean, sometimes I'm drinking at 10 or 11 in the morning, but because I have to, not, I'm not drinking a lot. I'm just tasting as I go. But yeah, I mean, personally, I can justify. Yeah, well, that's not a good thing.
So here's what I did for my Easter. Thanks for asking, you schmucks.
I was just going to ask you, Kevin.
Here's what I did for my Easter. As many of you who are frequent purveyors of the show know, I'm really active in the church that I attend. And so clearly the bar is still set very low on the worship team because they asked me to sing with them this weekend again.
Kevin, you have an amazing
And so
voice.
I really do. Thank you
Yes.
for noticing. And I'm incredibly modest too.
Yeah.
And so we did 5 Easter services. We did one last night.
Wait, you did
Five Easter services. So we did one last night. We did 4 today. About 1,500 butts in seats between all 5
that's amazing.
services. It was really good. Turnout was great. The services went great. I'm continually grateful and thankful and really blessed that I have a team like that to serve with and serve on. So it was a really, really, really good time and a really
Good.
awesome experience. And being in the house is always good for me. So that was, and then I came home and I had dinner with the kids, and
nice.
My youngest son deep fried the turkey for the first time. We never had that before, but he did it. My youngest daughter made strawberry shortcake for dessert. My oldest daughter made the mashed potatoes. My oldest son brought snacks and munchies and stuff, and it was good. It was a good time. The girls had their boyfriends there, and
Mm-hmm.
It's a good time. My nephew was in town. It was good day. Good day.
Oh, good.
Good day.
Good.
And then I get to do the show with you schmucks. So
thanks
it's all good.
so
now.
much.
Listen, I don't really, for the listeners, I'm going to pull the curtain back just a little bit. I don't really have a plan for tonight. Like usually I have some kind of a plan in my head.
Oh,
right.
so
We have a guest
we're winging
plan,
it.
do some local stuff, do some national stuff. We have a plan. I don't have a plan tonight. My brain is swimming from a homework assignment for my master's degree that is due today that I haven't started yet.
What?
I got a 1-day extension. So as long as I have done by the end of the day tomorrow, I'll be okay.
Okay.
But I've got a massive homework assignment I got to do tomorrow. Easter was chaos this week, prepping and everything at church and family and kids and blah, blah, blah. So we're going to muddle through this. I'm going to really let you guys in the chat have a say too. If there's something you want us to talk about or something on your mind, put it out there. Let us know. If you're really bored and you want to video chat in with us, I'll let you do that as long as you're wearing clothes. And depending on what you look like, I may not be a stickler about that. So really, the world is your oyster. And we'll talk about anything that's on your guys' mind. Obviously, there's a couple things we do need to talk about tonight, right? The deteriorating situation in Iran, and the fact, in my opinion, I was hoping Paul would be here for this, so we may delay it a little bit. But in my opinion, it doesn't appear to me that the Trump administration has a plan.
I think that's a general consensus.
Yeah, it almost feels like they went into Iran with the idea of the Iranians are then going to rise up and they're going to take their country back. And then it didn't happen. And then Trump didn't know what to do besides piss all over himself. So we'll talk about that later in the show. Obviously, Pam Bondi getting fired this week from the administration is at least the third high-profile name for the administration to go in the last 2 weeks. If you count Joe Kent and then you count Kristi Noem. They're
I've heard Tulsi's up next.
No, Tulsi might be up next. I mean,
I have some hot takes on
this. For somebody who is as optimistic about the administration coming in and the plans that they had to kind of undo 4 years of where's my pancakes of Joe Biden, the administration, as we sit a year and 3 months in, seems to be, to me, I can't speak for you guys, and Paul may disagree because it's what Paul does. They seem to be relatively rudderless, without direction, without consent, consistency, and it doesn't seem like this is going to get any better. And if you guys remember, I said last year that I thought this administration had a really good chance of being the opposite of most administrations when they come into the midterm. Because usually when you have an administration that comes into a midterm where they run the House, they run the Senate, and they run the White House, the opposing party ends up taking one of those back.
Right.
Either the House or the Senate. And I felt like last fall, this administration had a good shot of bucking that trend. Charlie Kirk had been assassinated. There was a groundswell of support behind the administration around conservative values in general. The economy was ticking along just fine. Gas prices were coming down. The price of eggs were coming down. The cost, inflation was slowly starting to trickle down. Like you felt like maybe this administration was trending the right way. How fun it is when you come out 6 months into the future and then you look at the administration, they're completely rudderless with no plan. And I didn't know if they could maintain their momentum, but I didn't exactly see them diarrheaing all over themselves. And it really feels like this is rats off the Titanic. Kristi Noem starts swimming for the lifeboat. Joe Kent, swim for the lifeboat. Pam Bondi, make your way to the lifeboat. Like, I don't know. I would be surprised if Republicans had the House and the Senate. I don't mean both. I mean one of them. Come
think
November.
That much of a change?
I think you have a flailing war in Iran that has not gone the way that the administration pictured that it was going to. You've seen gas prices skyrocket. The national average is now over $4 a gallon. Now in Washington, we would love $4 a gallon because As some great wise man told me today, the differences between Democrats and a prostitute. Prostitutes start screwing you when you run out of money.
No, they stop screwing you.
That's what I said. Isn't that what I said?
No,
That's
no, you
stop.
didn't.
What I can't tell Tom's jokes. Tom, tell the joke.
What's the difference between a prostitute or a hooker? That's why I said earlier.
Yeah.
You were being polite. What's the difference between a hooker and a Democrat?
What's that?
A hooker quits screwing you when you run out of money.
Thank you. So in this state, $4 gas would be heavenly.
Have you seen the price of diesel in this state?
Diesel's what, almost $7?
$7.29.
Oh, was it over $7 now?
$7.29.
Jeez, man.
Okay, but let's be honest. We have the highest gas prices, or one of the top 3 in the nation, because
well, yeah, because of the stupid Climate Commitment Act and the
taxes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah.
$1.47 a gallon. Remember that, everybody, when you start voting in November or August.
Yeah.
$1.47 a gallon.
$1.47 a gallon,
And
which is what the amount of taxes we pay.
Who's been in charge?
Yeah. Well,
since 1988 in this state.
Democrats.
Yeah.
Well,
$1.47 a gallon. That
So-
should piss you off enough to vote differently.
Well, here's the problem, though. Everyone that listens to this show, well, one, they vote, period, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
If you listen to the show and you don't vote, I'm really confused by you. I mean, right? I mean, I should be.
Mm-hmm.
But the voter turnout, that's the problem. That's why we are where we are right now.
Well, we are only 16 minutes into the show, and Thomas brought up voter turnout for the first time tonight. Please take a shot. Lila said, Lila did one of the most nonsensical comments so far this week. Blame climate and taxes and not the actual problem. Great job, MAGA and libertarian host. Lila, I would like for you to succinctly, without being snarky.
Who's the mega? Because it's not me.
It must be me.
Yeah,
Whatever. I didn't just get done talking about how completely unfettered, untethered, unruddered this administration is, but I'm MAGA because you don't pay attention or take notes. Please, Lila, tell me what the problem is. Because you could say the problem is Trump, but I would not necessarily 100% of the way disagree with you, because the war in Iran has certainly skyrocketed gas prices. It has certainly jumped them up. However, MAGA is her. They're saying you're the MAGA. However,
Iran is a Democrat. That's
however, we cannot place all the blame at the feet of MAGA or Trump. When you look at the fact that a bordering state like Idaho has gas prices that are roughly $1.50 a gallon cheaper than what we are.
Let's go to Alaska, where it's harder, for them, because they have to send their production down here to create
too
gas.
cold.
Yeah, and then they pipe it, or I don't know if they pipe it or ship it back up. It should be one of the most expensive. It actually
and
isn't.
it's not.
Yeah,
and it should be more expensive in Idaho than here, though, because. How does oil get to Idaho, folks? A lot of it comes to Washington and then it's hauled over there. Not all of it. There are some pipelines and some other delivery methods and some other, routes where trucks can go. But the shortest line between point A and point B is a straight line. And the straight line is from the refineries in Anacortes
and
Cherry Point, and a straight line across the pass to Idaho. It should be more expensive there than here, and it's not. And why is that? Because the amount of gas tax. Because you run as Democrat doesn't mean you can't be MAGA. Okay, they're talking about you some more. Listen, my point is we can get into mudslinging about gas. There's plenty of opportunity right now to go around for blaming people for gas to go to both parties.
Oh yeah,
especially again. What Trump did in Iran has certainly had a dramatic impact on the cost of gas. But listen, the Democrat Party, which has proclaimed itself to be the party of people who care the most about minorities and disenfranchised communities, in the state of Washington has the most regressive gas tax in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
And who does that hurt more than anybody? Marginalized populations. Because when your gas prices are $1.50 more a gallon here than in Idaho, that $1.50 more a gallon is more impactful on the poor people than it is the rich people. I am upper middle class. I'm not going to lie about that. I'm not going to try to paint the scene any differently. I do very well for myself. It is much easier for me to pay that extra $1.50 a gallon than it is for somebody making barely over minimum wage. That $1.50 a gallon is not a sliding tax. We don't charge the poor less than we charge the rich. We charge the exact same amount. Just got a message from some friends that are in California right now, down in San Diego. They're paying $8, $7.99 a gallon for diesel.
Wow. That's insane.
That's another Democrat-run state. So I wish that we could get around the idea that the Democrats give 2 craps and a half about what they're doing to the marginalized and the poor communities, because they ratchet up the taxes on things at an equal rate. And I'm not saying that they should do it at a sliding rate, like you should roll up to Costco and show your 2025 income tax receipt to show, well, look, I'm low income, I should pay less gas tax. That's not what I'm insinuating. But this idea that Democrats give 2 cents worth of concern about the minority communities is absolutely horse crap.
Well,
and Lyle agrees, Democrats don't care. They're part of the problem too. Exactly.
When we discuss diesel, I mean, everything in this country gets everywhere in this country by diesel
By
motor.
diesel,
Yeah.
Right. So I mean,
it's not just people like you with a dually, right? It's people like you that have a diesel powered vehicle, but mostly it's, what are you throwing in the back of flatbed trucks? What are you throwing in the back? What are you throwing in the back of a diesel truck that you're hauling across the country to deliver? Because that's all by diesel. There's no electronic. There's no electric.
Yeah. Don't forget trains. There's a lot of diesel.
Yeah, I was going to say trains.
Diesel trains, diesel trucks. Yeah.
So when that goes up, the price of everything goes up.
Yeah.
I mean, which also increases your taxes, because your sales tax is based on the price of your,
Yeah. No, you're right. In the state of Washington, it doesn't occur to me that they care about what the cost of goods are, because when the cost of goods go up, we're going to have to buy them anyway. And the amount of taxes on that cost of goods, because the cost went up, the tax goes up, then you got to pay more taxes. But what we have a challenge though, right? And here's the challenge. I'm not leaving this state. I'm just not going to. I've lived other places. I've lived in Cali. I've lived in Illinois. I've lived in Indiana. I've lived in some other places. There's nowhere else I want to live but here. I just don't want to. It's gorgeous here. It's beautiful here. I've got the ocean here. I've got plenty of cool places to hike and walk and see the world. And I'm close enough to Canada to smell their bad cheese, guaranteeing that I never want to visit. I have zero interest to go to Canada, by the way. You could give me 100 places to go and Canada be number 100 on the list. I'd rather go to a prison in Bangkok than I would go to Canada.
Having lived up in Stanwood, you didn't ever go to Canada?
Well, we went to Canada.
Okay.
Yeah. But there's nothing in Canada. There's really not. There's bad beer and bad cheese and poutine, which is awful.
You're wrong. I love poutine.
The only thing about Canada that I find even remotely redemptive is Victoria, because I think Victoria is a gorgeous city.
Oh, yeah.
Victoria is gorgeous.
Amazing.
But I'm not going to drive up to Victoria. I mean, I could take the Clipper.
You got to take the ferry.
I could take the Clipper.
Yeah.
But why? I've been to Victoria and I'll never go again. If I'm going to travel, I'd rather go to Vegas. I would. I'd rather go to Vegas.
Going to
I'd rather go to Eugene, Oregon and take a nice big fat dump on the Oregon Ducks football stadium steps. I won't admit or deny that I've done that before, but go ahead.
Going to Victoria is cheaper than going to Vegas.
Sure, and there's a reason why it's cheaper. Listen, a prostitute in Gorst is cheaper than a prostitute in Tacoma. Why is that? Because the ones in Gorst are less desirable. Okay, there's a reason why they're in Gorst.
Less demand.
There's a reason why there's things in Victoria and a reason why there's things in Vegas, and never the two shall meet, because the good things are in Vegas and Canadian things are in Victoria. Okay, all right. So listen,
damn.
The challenge is what you do if you're going to live in Washington, right? Like my sister and her husband are moving to Texas.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, they're getting the hell out of Dodge. Now she's got daughters down there too, and she wants to be closer to her kids. But part of it is cost of living, right?
Yeah, yeah.
My house, don't ask me why, is worth like $700,000.
Good for you.
I don't know why. No, not good for me. It's a propped up artificial market. Eventually, the market's going to collapse. It'll be worth $4.25. Okay, but right now it's worth $700,000. If I took half of that and went to Texas, I could get a freaking Magnolia mansion.
Yeah. Yeah, you could.
For half of that. It's also because it's hot as hell.
Well, it depends on where in Texas. Because, I mean, you get around some parts of Austin and stuff, and it's getting blue.
It's getting blue.
Which means it's going to get expensive.
So how do you redeem yourself when you live here? How do you survive if you're going to stay? Because Democrats aren't going anywhere. You're not suddenly going to have. I don't care what the Republicans say. I keep hearing red wave. The number of times I've heard Robert Parker, Dave McMullen, Jesse Young, other conservatives, and I believe they believe it. Like, I'm not accusing anybody of lying.
Right, yeah.
I believe they believe there's going to be a red wave, the exact same way that I believe that I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning next to Sandra Bullock naked in my bed. Just because I believe it doesn't mean it's true. And we've heard about a red wave hit in this state since pre-Lauren Culp.
Yeah.
And we've lost seats in the legislature. Not gained. You've lost seats in the legislature. You haven't gained or even held steady. You've lost seats. So this red wave idea that you have is a great idea. It's like communism.
How?
On paper, it sounds wonderful until you try to put it into practicum and you realize it doesn't work.
How long has voter turnout been in the toilet in Washington?
Forever.
10 years?
No, more than that. I don't. Have we ever had more than 25-35% of voter turnout in this state? I don't think we have.
No, I don't think so.
No, I think the voter turnout countrywide has always been low. I don't think low voter turnout, which I know you beat that drum that's the problem. I agree it's a problem. I don't disagree with it, but I don't believe it's the problem. Like, I think it's a problem that people don't vote. But I don't think it's a new problem that reflects why we are where we are today. Why we are where we are today is because people are stupid lemmings.
That they don't vote.
They walk into a voter's booth and they accept one. We only have to vote for two candidates. We only have to have two parties. We can't vote for a third party, which is why I don't vote for a third party, because other people won't. But I would gladly vote for a third party if I thought there were enough votes that were going to come in that would make them viable. And there's not. So that's part of it. And
well, that
vote
attitude,
for lemmings that have to vote for somebody because of the letter next to their name. And in this state, that means Democrats will win hand over fist, because people don't look at why people run or what their platform is. They look at the little D or the little R next to their name, and then that's who they decide they're going to vote for. And as long as those two facts are true in this state, you will never have a red wave. You might occasionally pick up a seat or lose a seat. It'll ebb and flow. It'll go back and forth. Maybe this year, the seat that Jesse Young used to have, which is currently headed by Spencer. I don't even know what the hell I'm doing here, Addison.
Isn't it Addison Richards?
Oh, Addison Richards. Sorry.
Spencer Hutchinson.
Thank you. I got them both confused. Why? Because they both did equally nothing. Addison Richards, I don't know what he's done. I don't even know if I've seen his name attached to a bill. So he might get rolled over by, was it Dave Olson's running against him? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he gets rolled over by Dave Olson, but Michelle Caldier's seat's going to go to a Democrat.
Are we sure?
Yes. Look, I like Janelle Hulst. I really do. Nobody knows. Isn't that who's running against her?
No, Christy Cornell.
Oh God, I'm so
that's
tired.
right. That's right.
I'm so sorry. Who is it? Christy Cowan? No.
Cornell? I
Christy,
think?
yeah. Christine Cornell. Christy Cornell.
Mm-hmm.
God,
the sign is right by our house.
I'm so
on the way to our house.
I see it all the time.
Yeah. You really don't
I
feel
like
good.
her. I thought she was great when we had her on the show. I'd love to interview her again. But I'm not going to blow sunshine up anybody.
We had her on the show?
Yeah, we had her on the show. Yeah, she was in studio with us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, you might have been out that night.
Yeah,
we had
I
her on
must
the
have
show.
been out. Sorry.
Yeah, we had her on the show. I thought she was great.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody knows who she is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if you're going to be a Democrat to try to win in this, a Republican and try to win in this district, you've got to get your name out there. And I'm sorry, putting your pretty face on signs on the side of the road is not going to get your name out there. It's just not going to work.
So I've got a question for you.
Yes.
What are you thinking that you can do about it?
Not a goddamn thing. Literally, not a damn thing. I either have to leave or I have to accept the fact that my taxes are going to be through the roof.
No. I'm talking about the voting.
Oh, the voting?
Yeah. Besides the radio show, what steps are you willing to take to help inform the public?
I will make a lemon pie for everyone who votes. Just prove to me you voted. I'll make you a lemon pie. No, I don't know. I don't, but I don't know what I can do. Right.
Mm-hmm.
This idea that we have to handhold people to get them to the polls is pretty ridiculous. I mean, we live in a country that is based completely on the fact that you get to vote in an election for who you want to be your Mein Führer, right? You get to pick your leaders. You get to pick the people in charge. And 70%, 65 to 70% of the people in this state could not be bothered to vote. It's not that they don't know you can vote. It's not that they weren't explained how the voting process works. It's not even that in this state, voting is so incredibly easy because all you got to do is fill out a thing and drop in your mailbox. It is so freaking simple to vote. And 65 to 70% of the people in this state don't vote on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that.
But where's the demographic on that? I mean, has anybody really dove into it? You know, is this primarily Eastern Washington because they're apathetic and feeling like their vote doesn't matter? Or is this more of our Western Washington, you know?
I can actually answer that question. Give me you guys talk for a second. I'll pull up some numbers. Go ahead.
Because I'm really curious, because one of the things that I've been kicking around in my brain before I leave this state, the state I was born in, the state that I've always come back to when I've moved temporarily for a job or whatnot, I've always come back to Washington. And now I'm seriously thinking of ending my retirement somewhere else, going there. And before I do that, have I made the effort? No
way this is true.
What?
I'm looking at the 2024 election results from the Washington State Attorney General, Secretary of State's office.
Yeah.
According to this, 79% of all registered voters voted in that election.
In 2024?
In 2024. 79%. Exactly. There's no way that's true. According to this, in Kitsap County, 80% of people voted that were registered.
Well, maybe
in
80% of the ballots voted.
No, 80% of registered voters.
Mm-hmm.
According to this, in King County, 79.87% of registered voters voted. I don't believe that for a second. In Jefferson County, it was 87%
of registered voters.
Registered voters.
How many people are actually registered?
I do not know the answer to that.
Well, we have motor registration. You know, so when you get a driver's license, whether you're whether you qualify to vote in our state or federally, you get a voter registration automatically.
Right. It's supposed to be motor voter. I know that.
Yeah.
But I didn't get one. But F-Bomb, who gets a ballot every election cycle, got voter registration paperwork in the mail like a week ago. So it kind of made me scratch my head, considering she voted in, well, hell, she's voted in every election that she and I have been
God
together.
bless you for voting.
So she should contact Secretary of State via email with, you know, either a photo or something of this registration that came in the mail.
Yeah.
Because it sounds kind of fishy.
It made me scratch my head a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Lila says, so the stats tell you the truth, but you reject it because why? What's your proof other than your feelings or vibe that it isn't true? Well, when we looked at the election results in the weeks after the election, what did we see? 32, 35, 38%. That's what we saw.
Yep.
When we looked at it live on this show.
Yep.
I don't know what happened between then and now that went from 35-ish% to 80-ish%. That seems weird to me.
Well, I think the last election we were looking at was the special election for Michelle Caldeer and
maybe, but I don't. It
wasn't.
I should
just remember that had a bunch of other small stuff in the special election around the state, and so the numbers were incredibly low.
Yeah,
and that also included. Didn't it include Emily Randall running?
Yeah,
for Kilmer's seat. I forget who.
No, isn't that in the coming election? Yeah, it's in the coming election because we just interviewed the.
Yeah, but Emily's in the seat right now. I thought she had to run off against.
Now that was when she ran against Jesse a couple of years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. My bad.
Okay, let me give you guys those numbers, right? You asked
Okay.
about this a so let me tell you in the largest group of voters
Mm-hmm.
in the state of Washington are 65 plus.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Oh, yeah.
not even close.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
61.5% of registered voters 65 and over
Mm-hmm.
returned their ballots. Only 38.6% did not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And as you go down the tree of ages,
Right.
every 10 years there's a drop. So 55 to 64 was only 45%. 45 to 54 was only 37%. 35 to 44 was only 32%. 25 to 34 was only 23%. And 18 to 24 was only 17.6%.
Okay.
Now, that baffles my mind because I've always been told that the older you are, the more likely it is you're going to vote Republican and conservative because you're older and you have more conservative mindset when you get older.
Except for the boomers. Remember? Who are the boomers back in the day when they were young? What did they do? Protest.
Well, this also makes me
I'm Gen X now.
I'm
So am I.
Yeah, I believe everyone in the room is.
Yeah.
One of the things I'm curious about. So this is, what was that? King County or was that Washington at large? Those stats.
Those stats I just gave you were Washington at large.
Okay. I'm curious about city of Seattle.
I don't think it lets me get to drill down at that level. Let me give you this though really quick. Here's the where was it at? Here is the reconciliation. Okay. Oh, hold on. No, that's not what I want. Keep talking just for a sec, guys. I'm sorry. I got to find it again.
So I guess my question to both of you is, what are you going to do about it?
Oh,
I
here we
mean, we talk about it, but are you willing to get out there and go handshake with your neighbors and talk to them about voting?
Statewide in the midterm, again, this is according to the Secretary of State website. Statewide in the midterm, 39.6% of ballots were returned. So less than 40%.
In the midterm?
In the 25 election, sorry, the 25 of the special elections last year.
Okay.
King County, 45%. So they were higher than average.
Mhm.
Compare that with Kitsap, 43% higher than average.
Who were the low?
Low was Franklin only had 25%. Benton had 32%. Adams had 32%. Grant and Grays Harbor counties both had 31%. Lewis had 35%. So it doesn't seem like there's an east or west division there. Yeah, I don't know. So I'm curious why the percentage of votes in the 24 elections is so high when it wasn't when we looked at it before.
Mhm.
I would hate to think people are fudging numbers, but I suppose it's possible.
Do they have numbers back to like, gosh, wasn't it the 90s we were still voting in person?
Yeah, in the 90s.
Mhm.
I first got to vote in the 90s. 1990 was the first election I got to vote in.
Oh,
because I turned
such a baby.
Turned 18 in 89. I'm a youngin. I'm a youngin. And
not that much younger. Than
we
me.
were going to polling places to cast the votes in the ballot box. The ballot
I remember being at Stanwood High School, and because my birthday's in January, we had a levy election in February, and they called all the seniors down who had turned 18 prior to 30 days before the election.
to have you guys vote.
And
Register to vote.
they registered us to vote in the principal's office. We all thought we were getting
Can
in
you
trouble.
imagine? Can you imagine if they did that today?
Oh, yeah.
People would scream, "How dare you make my kid register to vote?
Exactly.
How dare you?"
How dare you convince my child to increase my taxes? Because if you think about it, that's what we were doing.
Yeah.
Are you
Lila-
threatening me?
Lila said if 80% of Kitsap voted, what were the stats of who voted to who? Like, you say it's voters' fault that it's Democrat state, but if the voters are voting that way and you reject it because vibes, Lila, I'm going to try to make this as clear as possible. I totally support the idea that people vote for who they want to vote for. And we do go with the results of the election. Like, I'm not standing up saying we need to overturn the results of the election. That's a Trump thing. I am suggesting the voters don't know better. Because you cannot continue to tax. I'll read the rest of it in a second, Lila. Let's slow your roll. You cannot continue to tax your population into oblivion.
No.
I don't know of any other states that are going to have an income tax and a sales tax. Now, right now, the income tax is over $1 million. We'll see where it is in 5 or 6 years. We'll see if they lower that down to 750,000 or 500,000 or what that does.
It's based on 16,000 households for the millionaire's tax. You want to make a bet that we're down to like 5,000 households by the end of this year?
I don't know if we're down that much, right? I don't know.
Well, the tax doesn't go into effect until what, 29?
28.
28? Yeah. So, I mean, those households have time to pack up.
And you know what a lot of them are going to do? A lot of them are going to hire really good accountants. They're going to do really good jobs of finding loopholes because they haven't had to do it before, but they're going to have to do it now.
Well, now you just pencil everything down.
Well, but here's the problem. The problem is when you do taxes, the people you really screw are the poor. Because the poor folk can't afford to hire the really good accountant to go through their books and itemize everything and get them every little nook and cranny tax exemption that's out there.
Yep.
The rich folk could afford to do that. And so, again, I get you want to tax them, but just understand what you're doing, right? You're not.
No,
they're going to find so many loopholes and so many ways out of this. They're going to ship money out of state into Grand Cayman Island accounts. They're going to find ways to move that money around because that's what rich people do. Because they're smart enough and they have the resources to do
They're
it.
going to domicile somewhere else, and they'll keep Washington as a second home.
Oh yeah,
That's what they're going to do. Yeah.
Well, listen. Washington, I believe, can do what California did, which is Sam Darnold is not a resident of California,
Right. Yeah.
but he played a game in California and won a bunch of money and got taxed on the money he earned when he was there, even though the NFL is not based in California and he doesn't live in California, but he's still got to pay it.
Yeah,
So I'm
actually winning the Super Bowl ended up costing him like $70,000.
Yeah, but he made like $1 million on the bonus or something. Lila goes on to say, and the horrible rigging conspiracy, of course, you're just going to not understand how our elections work and reject it when it's not what you wanted, aka your feelings got hurt. Clearly, Lila does not paying attention to anything I'm saying, which is, I don't dispute that the numbers are what the numbers they are, Lila. I'm not disputing that they're correct. I'm not screaming about rigging conspiracy. That would be Paul. I believe for the most part in this state, the elections are correct. I did have questions when Sharma Sawant was down so many votes and then suddenly made them all up. I had questions when Christine Gregoire came back against Dino Rossi and suddenly won that seat because of how much of a lead Dino Rossi had before he lost it and she caught up with him.
I am sure there is some level of corruption in our elections.
Maybe.
Probably to a very small degree, a small percentage in every state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
blue
having
or red.
Having questions does not mean I think it's rigged. I think it's fair to have questions. Questions are valid, right?
Yeah.
If you don't believe in questioning the government, you live in the wrong country. But I still believe to this day that the voters are wrong. I believe the results are correct, but I believe the voters are wrong.
Yes.
And the voters are wrong because we have a sales tax and an income tax and a B&O tax and all these other taxes and taxes upon taxes and the carbon tax and the gas tax and more gas tax. But the roads are crap, but we still have extra high gas taxes because gas tax is supposed to help the road. And a 30% tax on alcohol that's supposed to go to education, but it wasn't going to education, which is why they had to take him to court in the first place. Like, I have no issue paying taxes. Like, literally none. This is why I could not be a good conservative. If you want to take 70% of my paycheck to taxes, I got zero gripes with it. If the tax money is spent logically and reasonably and transparently, and it makes a difference in my life.
70%?
If it covered 70% of what I need in my life, yeah.
No.
Hold on. I'm not asking you guys to agree
I
with me.
know.
But if they came out and they said, you know what? this whole overregulated internet and telephone service in this state is bad. People are getting ripped off. We're gonna commandeer that in the state, and we're gonna give it to you, and it's gonna be covered by your taxes. Fine, but I want it transparent, and I want it to be reasonable. I wouldn't have an issue with that. Tax me, that's fine, but make the tax equal what I'm getting out of it. And right now, what I'm getting out of the taxes that I pay is not worth it. It's not equitable. The roads are garbage. Police service is getting cut. Fire service is understaffed. Utility rates are going through the roof.
Our utilities owned by a foreign corporation from a foreign country.
Yeah, but they're taxed, and they can't raise the rates unless the legislature lets them. And every single
it's not
time,
the legislature, it's a select committee.
but aren't they appointed by the legislature?
By the governor.
By the governor. That's even better. The government allows them to raise the rates when they think it's fair. Well, literally every time they come back and ask to raise the rates, whoever the governor of the utility commission is, rollovers on their back like a dog and lets them pet their belly while they do it.
Yeah.
So I don't like, Lila, you might be okay with all the taxes that are being charged. I would encourage you to go find some of the poor folks in our community and ask them if they're okay with the taxes that are being charged. Ask them how they feel about paying over $5 a gallon for gas in most of the county, or all the county, I think, at this point. Costco's the cheapest, and the tribal reservations up by Bainbridge are the cheapest.
Mm-hmm.
And the last I saw, both of them, they were both at $5.05 a gallon.
I would just suggest maybe some exercises in common sense. Start there.
The problem with your argument, Tom, and I love you.
No, I'm talking about for
that.
Lilat. I don't think Lilat has a good grasp.
But I'm going to push back for Lilat, though.
Okay.
Because I think the problem is when you say common sense, it implies they don't have a plan or a mission, or that they don't believe that they have. They Democrats, progressives, whomever you want to label that to, dependent upon the conversation, right? So if you say, well, you guys need to have some common sense. Well, the problem is they have common sense. They have their common sense. And their common sense is we need these taxes to fund these
programs,
entities, agencies, departments, because we need them to accomplish X, Y, and Z in our communities. And they have common sense. I disagree with their decision and what their common sense is about, but they have a level of common sense in that they want A to equal B to achieve C. I just don't think they've thought it all out very well.
The goal of whatever a tax is, I don't know that it really matters what we're talking about as far as, a tax goes, but the goal of it should benefit the largest percentage of the population possible, right? Not all of these tiny little special interest projects that, protect the spotted purple field mouse of the outer Cascade Mountains, or whatever the hell.
Careful, I feed those to my spotted owls.
Okay, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're going to tax something, tax it so that the vast majority of people benefit from it, like the gas tax. Okay, I mean, we're supposed to take care of the roads. Now it goes back to your transparency conversation. Why are the roads crap?
Yeah.
Well, and more than that, if we're going to tax for a specific purpose, then there should be a quarterly report card given to the taxpayers, written format. These are the stats. Here's how much we took in. Here's what we did with that money. Here's how we benefited you or the greater community.
And on a report card like that, I want to see the percentage of loss.
Yeah.
Right. What percent went to
loss or shrinkage or whatever you want to call it.
Or bureaucratic bullshit or whatever.
Overhead.
Shrinkage is what happens when I get into the pool and it's cold outside. Here's the problem with all of this. You're forgetting one major part of the equation.
We're dealing with the government.
We're dealing with the government, and we're dealing with money move.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to use round numbers. I don't believe that these numbers are correct, but it will illustrate my point. Let's say we were spending $1 billion on education. Okay.
I wish
that
we
all?
were.
But I just want to use round numbers to make it easy, because I'm a freaking moron. Okay. And I'm tired. So let's say we spent $1 billion on education, and then the legislature comes along and they say, well, we're going to do, this new excise tax on marijuana. We've legalized marijuana and cannabis, but we're going to tax it. And 100% of the funds that come from the cannabis are going to go towards education.
Okay.
Now that makes it sound like to the average stupid Washingtonian, oh my God, they're going to give extra money to education. They're going to take what they were spending before, and then they're going to add to it the extra money that came in from the cannabis. But that's not how it works. At the end of the year, cannabis comes in, and let's propose that they raised $500 million on cannabis taxes. You know what they do? They take that $1 billion they were already spending, they cut that in half to spend that $500 million somewhere else. They take the 500 that's left, combine it with the 500 they earned, and they still spend $1 billion.
Yep.
And so there's no increase in spending. Now the legislature knows, well, we have $500 million that has to go to education. That means the money we were spending on education, we can then turn that around and go to fund programs for the blue spotted humpy mouse. Right?
Yeah.
So the other half of the equation that people don't understand, when you say we're going to fund programs with this amount of money that we raise from it, it does not mean they spend the money they were spending before, because there's no onus for them to do that. So when you say I'm gonna approve this tax on distilled spirits because that money will go towards X, Y, and Z, don't be stupid enough to believe that that money's really going to go there, because in the end, it's all a paper move. You've just approved extra taxes that they can spend however they want. Because even though it has to go to X, Y, or Z, the money they were already spending there can now be spent however they want.
Through the general fund.
So you're not approving a tax for a specific program. You're really not.
You're replacing.
You're giving them money that they can then attribute to that they can spend those funds wherever they want to. And I don't know how to make other people understand that. Because literally, I don't think people are stupid, but people are obviously stupid. Because they still believe if I approve this school levy with the money going to the schools, now the schools will have more money to spend. No. They just will get less out of the general fund. And then the money that was in the general fund that was going to them, that's not going to go to them because you approved the school levy, so it doesn't have to go to them. That extra money could then go to whatever else they wanted to. It's not like they're going to cut your taxes somewhere else.
No.
The taxes don't go down. You know, Lila and I agree. Lila says sales tax is horrible in the first place. It needs to go away. Exactly. Exactly. But the problem is they added a new tax. They don't get rid of the old ones. You honestly think if they pass a pay-by-mile tax in this state, they're going to get rid of car tabs?
Nope.
You've got to be, to quote Alexander Hamilton from the greatest musical ever created, you must be out of your goddamn mind. Because it's not going to happen. They're not going to say, well, now that you've given us this revenue stream, we're going to give up this revenue stream.
Oh, yeah, no.
Because if they didn't need that revenue stream in the first place, if they could replace that revenue stream in the first place, they wouldn't have to ask for the new revenue stream. They would just leave the old revenue stream in place. They wouldn't need a new one. Are you guys dumb? If they don't need more money, they would just stick with the old money. The new money doesn't get rid of the old money. It's just in addition to your taxes never go down. They only go up. The only taxes you may ever see go down is to cross the Narrows Bridge when they finish paying off that loan.
The hell? Yep.
No, that'll happen. That has to happen because of how it was written in. But they have done their due diligence to push that out as much as possible.
Well, they've put tolls on other bridges, and I'm waiting for the Hood Canal Bridge to get a toll booth.
Well, if they have to redo the Hood Canal Bridge, they've already shown that's their model. We're going to put a toll on there.
Yep.
That's their model. And their argument will be, you don't have to take the toll bridge. You could go down to Olympia and take 101 around. You could do that. You could add however many extra hours it'll be to make that trip.
And
you could
overpriced gas.
Yeah, overpriced gas. Yeah, you could. Then the other half of Lila's argument pisses me off, right? But then Lila goes on to say, but we need taxes, and this tax is great, and everybody knows it. But morons who don't understand how society works. Lila, I hate when you call names because I don't call you names. And I know how society works. And society says when you tell people that if you make over X amount of money, we're going to tax you at a higher rate than everybody else, one of two things are going to happen. Either one, they're going to make sure they don't get over $1 million. They're going to be on paper for $990,000 because they've done creative bookkeeping, or they've sheltered money off out of country, Cayman Islands accounts, or they've got really good accountants that can finagle the money. Or if they're so far above $1 million that they're going to be taxed incessantly, they're going to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Now, your party, I believe you're a Democrat or you're a socialist. I don't know how to tell the difference anymore. The Democrats in this state have based their future projections on taxes on this tax on 16,000 or however many households it is, right? However many millionaires are in here. They have written into the budget what they expect to earn thanks to the taxes from that group of people. What happens when 2/3 of that group leaves the state? You're not getting the tax revenue from that 2/3 of a group. What are they going to do? Are they going to cut taxes? Of course not.
No, they'll lower the threshold.
They'll lower the threshold to 750,000 or 800,000.
In a decade, it'll just be a general income tax.
Yeah.
Which is unconstitutional according to Washington State.
And generally, that 800 will go to 600, will go to 500, will go to 4.25, until eventually they just say it's going to be on everybody. Because people that make a lot of money can afford to leave. The people who don't make a lot of money can't.
But they're going to start it on everybody because they're creating new bureaucratic agencies, and everyone's going to file a tax return. Everyone.
Yeah. But hold on. People are already filing tax returns for state tax returns because they want the working families tax credit.
Okay, but I'm not.
No, but what I'm saying is
going to.
A lot of people
Yeah.
are filing a state income tax form in Washington State because they want the working families tax credit.
I know.
And that was all to get people to start filing their state taxes.
Mm-hmm.
So that then they could easily switch over to that later.
Yeah. And let's talk about the businesses, right? Gross receipts.
Yeah.
Got to pay taxes on your gross receipts, not after expenses. And let's talk about the families who you have husband and wife who both work, or husband or wife that both work. If they make over $1 million together, guess what? They're getting penalized.
Sure. Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I'll be completely honest with you. That is a motivation not to get married.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? If Lori and I are going to get married and I'm making $700,000 a year and Lori's making $701,000 a year because she's worth more money than I am, together we'd be $1.4 million. We'd be, why would we get married?
Exactly.
Why would we do it? And by the way, how does that make any sense at all? I'm going to make $995,000, but Tom and Heather are going to be taxed more because they each make $500,000 apiece. When they have twice the household to support, twice the bills, twice the expenses.
Right.
But they're going to be taxed because they made $1 million as a couple and I'm not. If it's a couple, it should be $2 million, I would think.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's what I would have done.
Yeah, to be fair.
To be fair. But if I'm making $700,000 and Lori's making $701,000 and we're talking about getting married, that just went out the window.
Yeah.
We're not getting married now.
We would spiritually get married.
We would
not legally. And we're not getting married, people.
No, we're not. No. Lori has taste and I have standards.
Damn.
I insulted both of us there. At least it was even. No, but
my standard.
And what makes me mad, Lila, is you say things like morons who don't understand how society works. I know exactly how society works. This is how society works. The people that can afford to leave will leave. The Bezoses, the job creators, they'll leave. Starbucks is already starting to move some of their stuff out of here.
They're going to Tennessee.
Yeah, Boeing has already started to move stuff out of here. They started a long time ago when they went to South Carolina.
I would say, if I'm not mistaken, isn't their headquarters outside of Washington State?
Yeah,
now?
they're in Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
like 20 years.
do you want to chase out these big employers? I mean, it certainly seems like you guys do because you want to tax them on a head count. For what? Because they have so many employees? That leads to payroll tax, which leads to supporting your community. You want to get rid of all these jobs and all those tax dollars? You think that helps? To go after Jeff Bezos because he's a millionaire? It's absolutely ass backwards. Because if you chase out the big ones, you get a whole bunch of little ones. And the little ones are not going to pay to the same level. They're not going to offer the same benefits. They're not going to give the same advantages to workers.
Right. But
I'm never going back to the private sector again, by the way. I will stay government employee until I die.
Really?
Because all of this, unless I were to get a job for a good nonprofit, I would bite the bullet for a good nonprofit. With a good mission behind it, I would do that. But I would not go back to work in private sector. I just wouldn't do it. It doesn't make any sense. Everything private sector now is so upside down because of what the legislature has the authority to do and will do and has done and can do. It doesn't even make sense. I wouldn't even go work for Boeing right now.
No, yeah.
Because Boeing's going
to
going to leave here in 5 or 10 years. And then what have I given up for?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be there long enough to get a pension.
Mm-hmm.
No, screw it. I wouldn't do it. And I wouldn't open a business. Like, I love you, Tom. I would not open a business in this state.
Mm-hmm.
Between permanent issues, overregulation, overtaxation, increasing minimum wage.
Yeah.
There's no money in it for me to open a business.
No, if I knew now, or if I knew then what I know now, where things were going to go to, I don't think I would have opened this business.
Reminds me of Toby Keith's song. I wish I didn't know now what I didn't know then. God, rest in peace, Toby. All right. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll get into some of the Trump stuff, some more of the Trump stuff. I want to talk about the administration. Bondi out, Joe Kent out, Kristi Noem out, Trump out of his mind. And I don't know if you guys saw this. There was a trend floating around on Saturday where people on X were talking about how Trump had been emergency rushed into Walter Reed Medical Center.
Oh, no, I did not.
It was not true. It was an internet hoax.
Oh, okay.
But I want to talk about some of the responses I saw, too.
Okay.
So talk about that and more. It's Outlaw Radio Network. No Beeler.
No Beeler.
Which means no profanity, and Tom has no hair to pull. So we're back after this. It's Outlaw Radio.
Network.com.
This is the Outlaw Radio Network.
Are you ready to elevate your spirits? Look no further than Black Rain Spirits, your local craft distillery nestled in Town Square Mall. Indulge in the smooth richness of our handcrafted spirits, meticulously distilled to perfection. Whether you prefer the bold kick of our bourbon or the subtle sophistication of our gin, Black Rain Spirits has something for every palate. Visit us today at Town Square Mall and experience the essence of true craftsmanship. Black Rain Spirits, where passion meets perfection, unconventionally traditional.
This episode of Outlaw Radio Network brought to you by Destination Highway 420 in Bremerton. If you're looking for a knowledgeable cannabis shop with a great local vibe, check out Destination Highway 420. They offer a wide selection of Washington State cannabis products, including flower, pre-rolls, edibles, and concentrates from trusted producers across the state. Their friendly staff can help you find exactly what you're looking for in a relaxed, welcoming environment. Visit Destination Highway 420 at 1225 Hollis Street in Bremerton. Must be 21 years or older with valid ID.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Cats are masters at using up their 9 lives, like chasing laser pointers into walls or jumping onto high shelves. But the one thing cats never do, text while driving. So be like a cat and protect your one and only life. Don't text and drive.
Don't drive distracted.
A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
On a recent episode of the Outlaw Radio Network,
some of our listeners even appreciated you dumbing it down for them. So, on behalf
Sometimes
of Paul,
I have to
thank you.
mansplain for people like. By the way, mansplaining is when men explain things to a woman in a condescending tone. I just mansplaining.
at the Outlaw Radio Network Sunday nights at their new time from 6 to 10.
Admin a la carte are specialized local experts committed to helping you run your small business. From general admin and sales support to marketing, digital media and technology to real estate and compliance, Admin a la carte's only goal is to take your business to the next level. Find out how Admin a la carte can elevate your business. Visit admin-alacarte.com for more information. That's admin-alacarte.com. Admin a la carte. Your business doesn't fit into a box. Why should you have to?
You older people, I know you're getting a little edgy right now, but you better get into me because I don't want to bum you out, but I'm the future of America.
This is the Outlaw Radio Network.
Good evening, my fellow citizens.
It's kind of stony, huh?
It's the real thing. A radio signal from another world.
The United States government presents
The Outlaw Radio Network.
to provide guidance to mankind.
All right, Outlaw Radio, hour number 2 underway. Thanks for checking out the show. K-Dog, Tom, Lori, Dennis. Paul was supposed to be here. I don't know where he's at. Beeler has the night off, so she can do family things. To provide guidance. Anyway, thanks for checking out the show. I'm actually sharing something I found on my reels. I find some of the funniest things online. Okay. So,
a needle pulling thread.
Let me check the comments before we move on to our next topic. Lila said, hey, let's talk about this on Zoom instead of responding to chat. It seems you're open to what I'm trying to say. Lila, I will bring you on. Give me a minute. It's not worth what we pay in taxes for the services we get. Lila, agree with me. I think I can retire from radio now.
Haven't we kind of retired from radio?
Well, I use radio as like an overarching
Dun,
term.
dun, dun.
There's a lot of comments here.
No, you're far less regulated now.
Huh?
You're far less regulated now.
I am far less regulated as I should be. I should not be regulated at all. By the way, before we get into another topic, I just want to tell you how hard it is to do the radio show in Tom's distillery. I'm drinking, look, it's a glass of ice water. I feel like we're in a third world nation now. There's no soda. There's no
There's soda
there's
right
no,
out in the hallway.
There's no fruity drinks.
There's soda
I'm drinking
out in the
ice
hallway.
water like a peasant.
There's soda
How dare
out
you.
in the hallway
Peasants
vending
don't-
machine.
Yeah, and peasants don't get ice cubes.
Yeah.
I'm a high class peasant.
Oh, gee. Or an upper class peasant.
Upper class peasant. Okay, I'm reading Lila's comments. Lori, I did not know you were on as I wasn't here for the start of the show, but I meant the other host is MAGA. Who's the other? Are you saying Tom is MAGA? Are you MAGA, Tom?
I am not.
Oh, I think Lila's referring to Alicia.
Oh, but she's not here.
Alicia
know,
or
yeah.
Paul?
Well, Paul's not here either.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Lila implied that I knew about the rigging thing because I hang out with Paul. I've heard the argument about rigging the elections, and I understand the concerns about it. I understand the questions. I just don't think it's true in this state. I just don't. But I still occasionally have questions.
I don't think I don't think all of our elections are 100% corruption free. I think there's shenanigans in pockets, probably nationwide.
I agree completely.
Not enough to really change the results of anything, but they're there.
Enough to tip. Like maybe a little tip, maybe. But
maybe
in this state, it's so toppling over so toppling over Democrat. I don't think they need it. Not in this state. You know,
No.
if anybody's going to cheat in this state, it would have to be Republicans. You know what I mean? Because they're not going to catch Democrats with the way things are right now, doing things straight up normal, right? And I'm not accusing Republicans of cheating. I'm just saying Republicans are the ones who would have to cheat to get somewhere because Democrats have a stranglehold on the state. By the way, Lori,
stranglehold's very accurate.
By the way, Lori, have you seen my cock? See? My cock. All right. All right.
Apparently Tom has too. And
Lila,
now everyone in chat.
Lila, would you send me a message on Facebook and I'll send you the video link and you can join us for a minute. But you have to send me a message on Facebook because I can't post the link in the group chat. Anybody else wants a video in, send me a private message on Facebook. If we're not friends on Facebook, then it's your loss. Yeah. You guys have any thoughts? I kind of talked a lot in that last segment, which is normal because it's my show. But did you guys have any thoughts on what we were talking about, Lori?
Yeah, I do. I think that I agree with you. A lot of people.
Bam! You agree with me and Lila agree with me. This is the happiest day of my life.
You haven't heard the rest of what
go
I'm
ahead,
saying.
sorry.
I agree with you that a lot of people who are couples are going to uncouple or move if they're going to be taxed. And we all know uncoupling means divorce because they're not going to do this. They're not going to pay 18% effective rate of taxes between all the payroll taxes and then eventual sales tax as well. It's going to be more taxed in Seattle proper than New York City.
Yeah. And for what?
Insane.
I know, yeah.
There's no giant statue in Elliott Bay.
Yeah.
That's insane. So I know there's talk of, legal challenges by Let's Go Washington, et cetera, to the
Quite a
millionaires.
few. Yeah, Citizens Defense Fund.
Right. Do you guys think the tax is going to stand up to those the legal challenges?
Yeah, because the state Supreme Court's extremely liberal in their interpretation of things. So I would be amazed if they came out with anything opposite of that. Additionally, I would be shocked. I'd be stunned if the leaders in the Democratic Party that were trying to push this bill in the first place did not talk to some of the justices to figure out how they would rule if it went to them.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I'm sure there were conversations.
Sure. Yeah.
Sure.
I'm sure they all had conversations. So I mean, I would literally I would sell everything I owned and live in a cardboard box under a bridge if that happened. I would be that shocked.
Oh, if it gets
if it got overturned.
Okay.
Now, could it be overturned by the U.S. Supreme Court? I think that could be.
You mean by the U.S.
Supreme Court? Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, by the U.S. Supreme Court.
Okay.
Yeah.
But wouldn't that take like 10 years?
Oh, it'll take forever.
Yeah.
But could the U.S. Supreme Court overturn it? They certainly could, based on their interpretation of what the Washington State Constitution is. And again, as they're set up now, they're very conservative minded, on the makeup of the court. I'm okay.
That's not to say it wouldn't change.
I have zero interest in putting any faith in Let's Go Washington.
Why?
Because I've heard them make noise for years of what they're going to do about COVID and the mandates and the masks and taxes and this and that. What have they done? Like, I've heard a lot of talk, but I haven't seen anything constructive come out of their complaining and their threat initiatives. But I like their idea.
Okay.
But I don't see anything fruitful coming out of them. I see somebody with a lot of money that's really passionate about what he believes in, but I don't know where that money's going to go. I mean, do we honestly think that the initiatives are going to stand? Even if the initiatives pass, Olympia has shown us that they will overturn the initiatives if they don't like them.
Oh yeah, they'll come back the next session and change them.
So why are we spending millions? Why are we spending so much money on initiatives when we should be spending money to get some of those seats back, to get legislators in place that can get into positions where they can make sure that doesn't happen?
I agree with you. However, do we all remember the last, what was it? The state caucus or whatever.
She said caucus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the GOP.
Oh, the infighting that they had in
Yeah.
Spokane or whatever,
Spokane,
Yakima, wherever they were at.
And they did the Democrats work for them. I mean, just the publicity from that sunk anybody's chances there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
A couple comments in chat. And Laura, you said earlier, you sent me a message that people in the chat want to have their comments recognized. You can help read the comments too, because sometimes I get on a tangent and I don't know what
you do.
Yeah. Okay. Comments in chat really quick. John says it'll be good for realtors in Washington State selling the high-end houses when the millionaires leave. No, it won't.
No.
Because there'll be nobody around to buy them.
I know. There's some houses out in the islands, like 10, 20 million, helicopter pads, all of that. And they're sitting on the market.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to buy it.
Kevin Nelson, the divorce rate in Washington is only going to go up. You should certainly. Again, I'm using Lori as the example because she's here. If Lori and I were married right now, and we're making between us $1.3, $1.4, $1.5 million a year, we're getting divorced tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
In an amicable divorce, split the assets 50-50, still live together, still have a home together, still do life together, raise the kids together, everything. But if that's what I got to do to get out of the taxes, I'm getting divorced.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. And I'm thinking about this again. My life filter is very much church oriented, just with my exposure and enhanced activities and all my education, all of that. But now you're giving people a theological challenge, right?
Yeah.
Well, you can be taxed to death, or you can be legally married, which is what you need to be in the church to do what you're doing. Like if you're going to be a good Christian person, you need to be married in order for you to have sex and to live with somebody. And now you have to choose between what's your moral obligation and what's your financial responsible obligation, and how do you make the two of those work? Can you? I can't help but feel like this is not an intentional attempt by the Democrats to go after institutionalized marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Because how could it not be?
I agree.
Marriage, period. I mean, even gay marriage. I mean, marriage is no longer an advantage here.
It is federally.
Right.
It is federally on federal income taxes and federal programs, adoption, stuff like that. It is. But in Washington State, clearly they don't want people to be married.
Not for your millionaire class.
Yeah, honestly. Margie says Bainbridge has mansions. Margie. Bainbridge doesn't have mansions. They have beachfront mansions.
Mm-hmm.
Like some of their places are Malibu-esque.
Oh, some of the houses I've worked on Bainbridge Island.
Oh,
holy crap!
I see them on the boat when I ride the ferry to work. When I used to ride the Seattle Bremerton run when I worked for the Department of the Treasury, the IRS. Pay your taxes, bitches. Yeah. But no, when I used to ride the ferry out of Bremerton to Seattle, or if I go to a baseball game or something, look at those houses. Mm-hmm. There's some gorgeous houses in the Manchester end too.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
definitely.
In fact, I think the houses in the Manchester end are much nicer than the ones in the Bainbridge end.
Not if you go around to the Country Club of Seattle.
Well, on
Bainbridge.
Yeah, I'm just talking about the ones in that inlet. What is that? Dyes Inlet. What inlet is that?
Dines.
Yeah.
Is that Dyes Inlet?
Mm-hmm.
That right there where you come around the hook, right before you get to see Seattle, the houses that are on the left and the right. I think the ones on the right, which are on the Manchester side, are way nicer than the Bainbridge ones, just because they're right up on the water, and the Bainbridge ones are kind of on the bluff.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's some houses. Now I'll tell you, some of the most beautiful houses I've ever seen are in Discovery Bay, California, where they built them on the man-made canals and waterways down there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, it's gorgeous, just amazing.
Have you wandered Redondo Beach?
No.
Oh.
No, I stay away from SoCal as much as I can. I'll go to San Diego to visit friends that are down there, but I stay away from SoCal. It's a disaster.
Yeah,
it's too populated, too much pollution, too much crime, too much chaos.
I went down for a Seahawks game in LA with a buddy three seasons ago. Yeah, 3 or 4, whatever it was. We got there, was it Saturday night? The game was Sunday, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday night we went and just wandered Redondo Beach and holy crap, man.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, I'm surprised that we still have the listenership that we do. I thought listenership would drop. You know why?
Why?
We have Ice is on the show.
Ice.
Ice is here. All right.
Actually, listenership's
bad
gone
joke.
up, it looked
Bad joke. I
Yeah.
know. Listenership's up. You know why? Because Lila's going to join us in a second. Lila's in the chat, all the way from the camera. So we'll bring Lila on in just a couple of seconds. Other comments in the chat.
Jake mentioned Vashon.
Do you know that I've never been to Vashon? Nancy's like squirrel. How
What?
you doing? Squirrel, because we just sidetracked, talked about other things. Hey Nancy, how you doing, baby? How you doing, baby? Long time no see, sweetheart. Hey, listen, as long as we keep our net earnings under $1 million, I'll make you happy. Anyway.
That's
Jake
Kevin's
said,
new pickup line.
Washington Tonys need a migrate to Alaska and build mansions up there, then a summer home in Mexico. No, you need a winter home in Mexico.
Yeah.
And a summer home in Alaska. You're doing it wrong, Jake. You're doing it backwards.
Yeah, Alaskan winters suck.
Yeah. Alaska summer and Mexican winter. That'd be perfect.
Oh, I would love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Not bad.
Lila, you're going to have to hold on a second. I wanted to bring you on, but Dennis left, and I'm not sure which knob to turn up to. Hold on. Let me look.
Talk, you guys.
Hello. So
Am I the only one on the show? Talk.
no, I'm talking. Anyways, what I was going to mention about all the taxes that are proposed, the one that really concerns me, well, there's two. One is businesses will be taxed on gross receipts, the new B&O revamp.
What?
So that's your gross receipts before your expenses.
What?
Yeah.
Do you know? Okay.
Lila, stand by a
Yeah.
second. I got to wait for Dennis to get back.
That
Figure out
is
what knob
going
it is.
to absolutely decimate the
Yeah.
construction industry.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Oh,
And then-
and food
Yeah,
and hospitality.
restaurant, yeah.
Because
And-
the margin for restaurants is so small.
Yeah. And then the other one that gets me, and Kevin, I think I shared this in our chat. When
John
it first,
Walker just called you guys out, by the way, and he's absolutely right. You said it was Dyes. Dyes is in Silverdale.
Oh, my
Yeah.
bad. Thanks, John. Thank you for correcting us.
Yeah, and then he
It
said
sounded right.
and then he said you guys are stupid and you need to get an education.
Whatever.
he didn't say that. I'm sorry.
Uh,
Rich Passage is the.
Oh, okay.
That's Rich Passage.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And then the other thing is in Washington State, if you're a business and you are reported for having certain speech that is not acceptable to the governor or any of the department heads of agencies, your business license can be revoked.
Okay, I don't believe that for a second.
I
here's
will
why.
not be fucking censored.
But hold on.
Mhm.
But here's why I don't believe that. Because Hobby Lobby and Chick-fil-A have been two of the most vocally proponent conservatively owned businesses, and they still flourish. So do you know what I mean? Like I'm not saying you're wrong, but I don't know.
Yeah,
if
but they're not speaking out against our governor.
No, but they've
That's what
spoken out against gays and lesbians, and they've supported what's that therapy that is really conversion. They've supported conversion therapy. They've spoken out against like Plan B birth control and employers being on the hook to provide birth control in their insurance plans. Like if the governor's office could yield that kind of power, wouldn't they have already shut down some of those Chick-fil-A's and Hobby Lobbies? I mean, they're just the top two that come to my mind.
Right, but those are national corporations. And if you're needing the tax revenue, those are the ones that you're going to be more accepting of things than you are of a mom and pop operation, so to speak,
Yeah,
within
okay.
Washington State, who's not providing the revenue, but maybe they're providing too much commentary that you don't want to hear.
And Hobby Lobby and Chick-fil-A have the money to go toe-to-toe with the government. The court
Exactly.
battle and the mom and pop shop like
Exactly.
Tom's do not.
Correct.
Okay. Lila,
Correct.
I'm sorry. I don't know where Dennis is at. So just be patient. I'm sorry. Stand by. I don't know how to run this thing. Yeah. Okay. Now they're talking about an island between Port Orchard and Tacoma. What are you talking about?
Vashon.
Oh,
Margie,
Margie
asked
was
where
asking.
Vashon.
Yeah.
Wait, I can't believe you haven't been to Vashon.
I've never been to Vashon. I'd love to go to Vashon, but I've never been to Vashon.
How long have you lived over here?
In Washington State
No, on
or
this
in
side,
Kitsap?
Kitsap.
Since 96.
Wow.
What is on Vashon?
Well, before before we shipped everything off to China, K2 skis used to
Yeah.
be manufactured on Vashon.
Used to be, but I'm not going to go to Vashon to look at a ski manufacturing plant. Like, what is on Vashon?
That was the industry that supported, kind of. Vashon's just kind of this cool little
Josh Lucas's family home.
Yeah,
His
Who's
mom was
Josh Lucas?
actor
Oh,
with the southern draw. Oh,
it's kind of a cool little hippie town.
Yeah.
All right, let me
lots of
read you.
art.
Let me read you what Google gave me, because I Googled what is there to do on Vashon Island.
not much.
I'm going to read to you the list that Google AI gave me
Mhm.
as the things to do on Vashon while I wait for Dennis to get back. And you tell me if any of these, literally one of them, sound like a reason to travel to Vashon. Point Robinson Park and Lighthouse. It's got a beach and a lighthouse. I can do that at Point No Point. Maury Island Marine Park with hiking trails and a scenic view of Puget Sound. I can do that literally everywhere. Beaches. They just say beaches. They don't give the name of beaches. It's just, we have beaches everywhere.
The
cycling. I want to go to Vashon to exercise. Eat crap. Okay, arts and culture. The Doors, an art installation featuring unique decorative doors in a wooded area. Do you understand? I'm going to go to Vashon because I want to see doors outdoors. That's stupid.
It I was telling you before you got into this, it's kind of a weird hippie sort of artsy. Yeah, I like Vashon.
Local galleries, a heritage museum where you can learn more about Vashon Island history, which will be what? History about doors outdoors. And they have and they even put on here the Island Queen Theater, a small local movie theater. Sweet Jesus, every place has a movie theater. They don't promote that in their top 10 list of things to do. Like, can you imagine if like the Kitsap County Chamber of Commerce was like, we need an ad campaign to get tourism up. What are we going to promote? There's movie theaters in Silverdale. Brilliant! There's movie theaters everywhere, guys. There's nothing on Vashon worth seeing. Absolutely nothing, except for probably locally made granola and women who don't shave their armpits. And I don't need to see either one of those.
And
Okay.
actually, you're not
Wrong.
too far from
I know.
accurate on yeah.
However, when the bridge is shut down and you're trying to head home and there's been a nasty traffic accident, it's great to have the option to take the
Yep.
ferry to Vashon. You hop on the ferry at Vashon over to Southworth and you're home.
It's the same ferry, though.
No,
No,
it's
it's not.
Yes,
No,
it
it's
is.
not. No,
No.
it's not.
You have to.
The Southworth
No.
Fauntleroy
no.
Vashon ferry is one ferry.
Defiance.
Yeah, you take.
Oh,
the
you're
ferry
talking
at
about
a
taking
point
the
Defiant.
Tacoma and then
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you don't have to pay. You pay to get on to Vashon, but you don't have to pay to get off.
Do you know why you don't have to pay to get off?
Because it's so
Because
expensive
everybody
to
needs
get
to leave. Nobody wants to be there. The state was like, "Oh my God, you guys can leave for free. It's horrible over here." I'm gonna go to Vashon.
You
That's
know-
ridiculous.
You know the best part about Vashon?
Leaving?
Being super sarcastic. It's part of King County, so you have King County Metro buses driving on Vashon. You have this beautiful island with these nasty buses.
What? Wait a minute. How big is Vashon? Do you need a bus? Is
Yeah, they have
Vashon big
buses.
enough?
Yeah.
But is
Yeah.
Vashon big enough to?
Well, it stretches from Gig Harbor to Southworth.
More like Tacoma to.
Yeah, or Tacoma
Yeah, I mean
to
from
Southworth.
Point Defiant.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 13 miles long
Yeah.
and 8 miles wide. Okay, you probably could use transit. That's
Yeah.
fine. That's fine.
It's
Well, what do you
it's
want?
got like a major highway up
What-
the middle.
But what do you want? You don't want King County buses there? What do you
No,
want?
no.
Do you want like
You
a
have-
bougie bus with people with
Yeah.
selling granola and
you're on
Birkenstocks on
Vashon.
board?
You're on Vashon. You shouldn't have
Powered
these
by
big old
gerbils?
nasty-
Stop it. I'm going to go look at the chat because I know that some smart ass in the chat is going to be like, well, I did this in Vashon and it was wonderful.
Well, Tegan's wondering why you haven't been to Vashon.
Why would I go to Vashon?
There is
What in the name of God is there on Vashon?
there is some beautiful hiking. There really
Yeah,
is.
there is.
There is
So-
some
Tegan-
absolutely beautiful hiking.
Tegan said Oscar the Bird King is on Vashon.
I've never.
What in the name of God is Oscar the Bird King?
Look it up.
I was
Look
going to
it
say
up.
I've never heard of
Probably-
Oscar the Bird King.
He's probably right next to the Doors Outdoors exhibit.
This isn't anything like Tiger King, is it?
No, no.
Oscar the Bird King is one of those trolls. You know how there's those troll statues all over the place?
Yeah, like Bainbridge.
I've never seen one of those troll statues, not one.
Really?
I'm not going to go to Vashon to see one.
You haven't seen the one like under the Fremont Bridge?
No, that one's different than these other ones. It's not part of the same exhibit or same thing, right? Like I've seen the one of the Fremont Bridge.
Okay.
When I was engaged, she took me there. That's when I knew the relationship wasn't going to work. When her idea of a hot date in Seattle was, let's go look at a troll under the bridge smashing a Volkswagen in his hand. Oh, I realized that was when I knew that relationship was doomed to fail. This is
No, you
ridiculous.
haven't seen the trolls over at Bainbridge?
No.
Oh.
Do you know why I go to Bainbridge? There's one reason I go to Bainbridge.
ferry.
The ferry, so I can go watch a Mariner game.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason to go to Bainbridge.
Yeah, but when you take the time to drive up to Bainbridge and then you get on the ferry, isn't it basically the same as taking the Bremerton ferry?
No, the Bainbridge ferries run faster. They run more often, and they're shorter.
Well, I know they're shorter.
So they run more often and they're shorter. So it's
Okay.
it's the poo poo platter.
Okay.
And they run a little bit later at night regularly. The Bremerton boat doesn't.
Oh,
And
okay.
listen, let's be honest. If you've ever ridden the Bainbridge boat, it's like walking under a cruise ship. Like there's a band playing on the deck, handing out cigar and caviars on the deck. Oh, welcome aboard the Bainbridge boat. We're so happy to see you. And if they realize you don't live on Bainbridge, they literally send you to steerage.
Yeah.
The last time I rode the Bainbridge boat, they realized I was from Port Orchard. They made me sit in the engine room. Sons of bitches.
Have you been to the nursery over in our area? Right off of, I think it's Highway 3, right before you get to the airport?
The one there off Victory Drive on the way to Sunny Slope?
I think so.
Like you're heading for Belfair.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you go down right before you get onto the Highway 3, you
Yeah.
take a left. Yeah.
Mhm.
I have
Oh,
been there
no,
before.
you take it.
You take a left like you're going to Belfair, but it's on the right on that road, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cool
They have
nursery.
a Hobbit house there.
You have a what?
Hobbit house?
Oh, they have a Hobbit house, or you have a Hobbit house?
No, they.
Is that where you moved? Are you living in the Hobbit house?
No. In the nursery, you know, you're walking around and stuff, and one of the hillsides at the back of the nursery, they've turned into an actual Hobbit house.
Can you go in the Hobbit house?
Yeah, you can go in and take photos. Yeah.
Hold it. Be careful discussing the Hobbit.
Why?
Because the last time anything from the Hobbit came up, Kevin was the Grand Wizard to the KKK.
Oh, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
Well, I took care of that.
Paul's
Remember?
Will for All. Just want to let you know I'm just getting my suit, my hood dry cleaned. Dummies. John says
Yes.
Kevin needs to move to Vashon and run for mayor. Do you know what happened? If I ran to Vashon and ran for mayor, do you know the first thing I would do?
What?
I would vote to raise the place.
What?
I would burn
Why?
it down, build a giant island casino.
Oh my God.
A giant
You
island
can't.
casino.
You can't because the education dollars are flowing that way. Like a lot of families who have kids in
Mhm.
Fauntleroy,
Mhm.
their kids take the ferry to go to the schools over in Vashon.
Okay, and then they'll be taking the ferries to go to the new job dealing cards at the Mega Island Casino on Vashon.
I don't believe there's any native land on Vashon.
I don't.
Doesn't the casino have to be on native land?
Yes, unless the governor suddenly has an epiphany and they change state law. And clearly, the granola huggers on Vashon are his peeps, so he would support it.
Huh.
Lori, do you want to see where Dennis is? Would you check on Dennis?
Sure, I'll go.
Or just find out what number slide I need to turn up? Oh, you know what? Screw it. Hold on.
Just try number 5.
Hold on.
I mean, it's the next.
Lila, I'm going to
logical-
bring you on really quick. And then Paul just joined us, so Paul will come on in just a second. But I'm going to bring Lila on first. Oh, Paul's really excited to see Lila too. Hi, Paul. Okay, so Lila, you're on, but don't talk yet. Hi, Lila. Wave. Perfect. All right. So, Lila, do me a favor. Count to 10 out loud, and I'm going to see if I can figure out which slide this is to make it so we can hear you. So, count to 10 out loud.
1, 2, 3.
There you go.
Hey, I did it. I'm a big kid now. Okay.
Yeah. Hi.
So, Lila, you were very active in the chat. I know you had a lot of thoughts. You agreed with me, so I was just going to leave it at that because we agreed, and that means that I can
Well,
go to
there's
bed.
a lot of things I think that we would agree about. There's just a lot of nuance in what you're saying and shit like that.
Well, and Lori agreed with me too. So really, it's a great day for me.
Oh, jeez.
And Paul's not here.
It's Easter. Your Messiah has risen.
My Messiah has risen. Thank you. Lila, you do realize that he is your Messiah too.
Let's not go into whether
he loves
God
you.
exists. So.
He loves you whether you love him. How's that? We'll leave it at that. What do you think about what we were talking about?
Thank you for loving me. I love you too.
Thank you.
About what we're
if you ever
talking
want
about.
to come to church with me, you can come to church with me.
Yeah, I could do that.
All right. What's on your mind?
I had a few thoughts of what you were talking about before, and I wrote it down.
Taxes.
For your Vashon. No, that's a little.
Have you been to
far.
Vashon, Lilat?
I have. And
is it a wonderful place or a waste of time?
It's a waste of time.
Yeah, we've agreed on 2 things tonight.
Okay.
Beautiful.
The reason I give this is I've been there. My ex-girlfriend's mother lived out there, and so we went out there a few times, and it's basically just old capitalists living there, and it's very expensive. And then that's where the grandparents are of these kids that are now in Seattle. Ship the private. That's a lot of money goes there. There's a lot of corruption and bullshit that you see in that type of thing. So that's why I bash on this shit.
It had nothing to do there. Yay, they have a movie theater. Congratulations. We have one in Port Orchard. Not on the top 10 list of things to do. All right, let's talk about taxes, Lila. So, okay, I think you and I both agree that taxes are necessary.
Yeah.
Right? I think you and I both agree that taxes are not spent transparently.
I agree, and that's a problem.
Okay, so talk about that.
So, without the transparency, we don't know where the money is going, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is the right rails against us all the time, right? They're saying no taxes and things of that nature. It's that they can't criticize their own side because their own side does it as well. Because the Democrats and Republicans are the same. Why are they the same? It's because they're both capitalists and they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. It's just one side, the Democrats, want to see the effects of capitalism lessened on the population, and the right just says fuck them and claws back all those taxes through tax loopholes, the ability to hide your money, and it's really lower taxes. And we can see a correlation with that in the 70s with the rise of neoliberalism from the era of FDR that everybody thinks about. And the era of FDR and his policies all the way up to 75 had high taxes.
Mm-hmm.
That's where all the funding for the infrastructure back then is now crumbling because capitalists have not they haven't lived up to the bargain of the ruling class deciding what's going on, what we're building, what we're producing, and they're letting it crumble. They don't want to update the infrastructure because they're hoarding all that wealth. Billionaires, gross. Somebody that has almost $1 trillion of wealth, all that resources just sits there. It is not actually helping people. But our taxation does. And then we see where the taxes go because it's represented in our services. And our services are shit for what we pay.
I agree. I agree with you. Hold on, I'm going to push back on something you just said.
Both sides to this.
Yeah, I'm going to push back on something you just said because you talked about somebody who has $1 billion or whatever that you said that's just kind of sitting there. But they are, again, let's take Musk, not Musk specifically, because we can talk about the kind of guy we think he is or not.
Billionaires should not exist. So it doesn't matter which one.
Okay. So yeah, let's use Musk though, because Musk has created a lot of businesses and a lot of things that have put people to work, that have created jobs. He's taken the risk in that. If we take away the reward of the risk, then are they less likely to take the risk? Like if you tell somebody like Musk, hey, you've got money to start a job, but you're not really allowed to make too much off of that job because then you'll be making too much. Does it throttle down the entrepreneurs and the creators and the inventors of the world? Why would they take a risk?
they don't really take a lot of risks. They're just using a bunch of wealth to place bets. That's what Musk does, really. He hasn't really invented anything. It's just his engineers. He just put his name on the thing, and then people worship him like he's Iron Man. You know, these people just pick and choose what they want to do and what to produce. They're not really helping out, though. They want all this no tax. They don't pay any taxes. We give them our tax money because our infrastructure is gone. That's profit they get to save through taxes. And then our wages are so low too. They pay us so little. And they have all this wealth. Where does profit come from? You know, I tried to talk about this before. It's taken from the worker, from the value that they produce towards the capitalists. You know, there's 5 to 10 workers at Sierra, and they're all minimum wage, but the store takes in $50,000 a day. And you think, okay, well, then all that money has to do with this, and you can list all the construction, everything, but that's just all fixed costs. Where does this profit magically appear? In the price? No, it's if you divvied up what everybody did, everybody should get an equal share of that sold in theory. But the profit just goes to the capitalists, and then they get to decide what to do with those resources that we call money.
Okay. All right. I don't know if I agree. No, let me rephrase it. I don't agree.
It's a big theory.
Yeah, it's about my brain can handle big theories, Lila.
I'm not saying that you can't. I'm just saying there's a lot to it, and me just saying that much is not enough to explain it.
Yeah, I think my only pushback would be like if I use Tom for the example, right? Tom opens a distillery. Tom manufactures amazing whiskey. Tom's whiskey product, you know, he started this business from scratch, had to open his storefront, come up with his own recipes, buy his whatever the stuff, the
grain.
No, I don't even grow, but like the hardware in the back that you use.
Oh, okay.
Your ovens, your still, your mash tun, all that stuff, right? But all that stuff is you taking a risk on making a small business work, right?
Right.
Now, let's say that Tom's Candy Apple Red suddenly takes off. Some celebrity falls in love with it, tweets about it, orders fly off the shelf. Tom has to hire help. Before you know it, Tom has created a $1 million business where things are flying off of the shelves because of how well he's created this product that he took a huge risk to begin with. Doesn't he deserve to reap the rewards of that initial risk and investment on a business that he created that suddenly exploded into something amazing that everybody wants?
Yeah, he does. And how does he do that? He gets help. Right? What did you say in the example? He got help.
Yeah,
and what did I say before about what Musk does? You know, he got help.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, he got all the reward for the risk of whatever the risk was. But really, you know, it's a self-production, and they get so big that they're now deciding about all these resources just because of an idea, and he got some help and just didn't pay the worker enough of what he was making before. Because let's say he was charging $50 per the cider or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets help, you know, one person. Now he's just pays one person. He can make twice as many, but he's taking a cut of the workers' portion of it instead of it being just 1 and 1 and divvying up. But it's not really about the money. It's about, you know, also what we do with it and what we build and everything. Because that extra funds in a capitalist society should be going into the infrastructure that support the capitalist system, right? So that's how we claw that type of money back. Money is fake, remember. You know, we just made it up. It's just a way to divvy up resources, right?
Right. Yeah.
So,
yeah,
you know,
paper's not really worth anything, but we've assigned it a value. Yeah.
Right. And that's how we have to do with trading resources to make it easier. It's just, here's this person that just had a good idea, but really they don't have to get as high as Musk, right?
Yeah.
Why, who's going to spend $1 billion? That can go back
hold
in
on.
and
I could spend
allow
$1 billion. I would have every Funko ever made. I could spend $1 billion.
No, that's you can't spend all that money, but you know what? The nation can, and the nation helped build these big corporations and everything. And you wonder why the nation is going under? We shipped all our jobs out. We allowed the flow of capital to leave. Capital meaning that resource, that profit. We just shipped it out. Now all our factories, they're not needed because we make cheaper stuff where? China. And it's just cheaper to ship shit over. But now what are they paying the worker over there? Even less. But they make so much more. And look, it's so much cheaper. Buy. Without realizing that the blue collar, the workers that were producing it at home are now out of the job too. Or maybe we've made a better machine and we put that machine somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah, listen, you're preaching to the choir on that one. You know, I worked at the Kitsap Sun for a while.
That's horrible.
Not
that working there. I meant that the fact that it's gone.
Yeah. I worked at the Kitsap Sun for a while, and my position was eliminated because they were able to outsource it to, I think, either the Philippines or India.
That's another thing. Yep.
Yeah, and so I agree with you, Lila. Let's coordinate. Let's plan to have a segment. Let's plan to have you back either in studio or like in a longer segment, and you and I can actually plan a topic out in advance and be ready to go, and we'll put something together.
Yeah, no, that was great.
All right, I'll reach out. Lila, we love you. Thanks for supporting the show. Tell all your friends, even the ones that hate us. It's okay.
I actually do. I say, hey, you want to listen into this? We actually have a political radio show in Kitsap County. You know. And I've told people, so
thanks,
hopefully
Lila.
you see the numbers. Bye.
We appreciate you. Thanks. All right, there goes Lila. We'll bring Lila on again. Lila's got some really good points. Again, I don't agree with all of them, right? I still think that if you're taking the risk, then you earn the reward, because if it fails, you're the one on the hook for it. Nobody's sharing your bankruptcy.
Right. There's kind of a misunderstanding of what profit is. Because building a business doesn't happen in a year or 2 years or 5 years. It takes years and years and years. And during many of those years, you scrape by, you scrimp by, you get by.
Yep.
And you have to look at all of that work as sweat equity. Right?
Do we know how Musk got his money? Is he a self-made dude, or did he inherit it?
Nepo.
Yeah, Nepo baby.
Oh, Nepo baby.
There was money. There was money to get him started.
Do you guys want to talk to our favorite Nepo baby?
Sure. You mean Paul?
Yeah, joining us live from the compound is the one and only. Well, hold on.
Pauly Shore.
It froze up. Oh, there he is. It's St. Paul, the voice of reason, our favorite Nepo baby with a blanket.
Outside, yeah, I'm sitting outside.
Blanket.
Yeah. Good no, I'm wearing a sweatshirt, Dork. But I am sitting on one.
Too, a purple blanket.
Yeah, I'm sitting on it. Listen.
What's up, buddy?
Listen, dude,
hold on. What's up, buddy? How are you? Happy Easter.
Yeah, happy Easter.
Happy Easter. Do you know the King is risen?
You know, that's a topic for another show, brother. And you know why I say that.
Go ahead.
But,
and Lila says hello, Paul.
Yeah, well, you tell her I said hi, and the first question that I would always ask when that kind of conversation comes up, and I think it's important for the sake of everybody being on the same sheet of music, is exactly how much of someone else's money, right, is someone owed, right? Mm-hmm. Like, how much of my money should I give, especially when, and by the way, I don't disagree with all of her points, right? It's not like, I think the ideology isn't wrong. I think the execution or the idea for execution is skewed a little bit. And I don't think we live in that kind of a world, right? Because we'd have to eliminate greed. We'd have to eliminate desire, things like that. And we haven't, go ahead.
We have to eliminate human nature, really.
Right.
That's what you're,
Tom, for every 100 bottles of whiskey that you make, how much should you just give away?
None of it.
Exactly. because they'd all cost you, and to put it in perspective, as Kevin pointed out, you have to buy all of your ingredients that are grown in Washington, right? Which means you're driving to farms in Eastern Washington, farms that are generally manned by who? Legal migrants with H-1B visas who are picking those crops, right? So
Yeah.
I think the issue is much bigger than that kind of a solution is designed to resolve, so to speak, right? Is there inequity in the world? Yes, absolutely, 1,000%. Has there always been inequity in the world? Yes, 1,000%. Will there always be inequity? There will always be inequity, right?
Yes.
There'll always be a leadership class. There'll always be a worker class, a middle class, whatever kind of label you want to put on them. There'll always be a class of people that are, for whatever reason, have trouble, coming up from the bottom. But a lot of people do. A lot of people do. Elon Musk's companies, because while I was listening to the conversation, it raised some questions of myself, so I looked it up, right? I mean, he owns a dozen companies and employs over 400,000 people.
Yeah, was it Tesla, SpaceX, the Boring Company, Neuralink?
Yeah, there's X, there's the AI company, Solar City, that he owns a minority share in, and that's a great example, right? Solar City is a company not allowed to operate in the state of Washington, and do you know why? Because the leftists in Washington State have kowtowed to Puget Sound Energy. Puget Sound Energy says we've spent too much time, money, and energy in Washington State, and we've built this infrastructure for electrical, right? And Solar City's the way that they run their businesses, they'll come to your house and put an entire solar panel array on your roof for free. For free. Do you know what the difference is? You just don't get to make the profit. The profit goes to the company. And the profit, what do they use that profit for? To pay their people and to put more free solar panels up. Okay? Can't do it in this state, right? The state that's been ruled since 1988 by people who only care about the poor, right? Or the disadvantaged, the people that they claim to support. What a better way to support the people of your state than by letting a company like Solar City come in here? But that doesn't happen, right? I'm not a Republican, and I'm not going to sit here and say that Republican values or rules and laws and everything that they say are good and just and true. I'm not going to say that at all, right? But we've seen what Democrat policies have done to this state. Right? And that's the only example that we have. We live here in a state that is singularly ruled by the Democratic Party. And the results are very clear to see. Did you guys see what our gracious King Ferguson did this last week?
No, God, what do you do now?
Well, he signed the income tax into law. Okay,
yes,
that's enough of a slap in the face to the voters of Washington State, considering 11 times it got turned down in a statewide referendum. Right. So then Brian Hayward decided to put forth the petition and said, all right, we want this on the ballot. We want the income tax on the ballot next year. Okay. So what did Ferguson and the Attorney General do? Do you have any idea what they decided?
Blocked it.
They said, we will not let you put this on the ballot next year. We will not sign off on this initiative. Now, there are only two reasons in Washington State that the state can enter into that conversation and say, we will not allow this to enter into the initiative process. First and foremost, the number one thing is in the event of an emergency. Kevin, are we in an emergency right now?
I don't believe so.
No, we're not, right? The other reason is if the state deems it to not be in the state's best interest. Full stop, that's it. Those are the two reasons. So the Democrats of Washington State, the Democrat governor, which was really funny watching No Kings protests occur. There's a real lack of self-awareness on the part of people that participated in those. Listen, go out and protest, man. You have your right to do it. I don't knock the people that did it. But there's an incredible low bar set for IQs in those people. To go out and protest No Kings because you don't like Donald Trump, that's fine. But when you're living in a state that effectively has a leadership party that won't even let the minority party talk, right? When they're down in the legislative session, and then to say, no, you, the people, are not allowed to have an opinion. You're not allowed to have a say-so in this conversation. Well, that sure sounds a whole lot. And let's not even throw in the fact that they're forcing by law, they're telling certain reporters that don't agree with them, yeah, we're just not going to let you in. We're not going to let you ask any questions of your elected representatives because we don't like you and we don't like the questions you ask. Yeah, nothing kingly there, right? And listen, we could go on and on and on, but you know, it gets kind of tiring beating your head against the wall all the time, talking about the same topic. When it's painfully and blatantly obvious, and you have half the state that just cannot open their eyes wide enough to even remotely see what's happening right before them. But these are the same people that will go on Facebook and bitch about gas prices and blame Donald Trump for it. You know, without a clear understanding of how gas prices come to be what they are, which is as a direct result of speculators. Now, does the war in Iran impact that? Of course it does, right? But there's a complete lack of acknowledgement that our state has the highest or second highest gas taxes in the nation, and the highest, if not the third highest, depending upon what list you look at, gas prices in the nation, right? $1.64, I think, or maybe it's $1.54. It's right in that neighborhood, right? In what we pay on every gallon in gas. And we're paying, like, I can drive all the way up to Squamish, right, and get gas for $5.09 is what I paid up there yesterday for it, okay? Or I can go down here to the highway right down near the shipyard where all that traffic drives through and pay $5.60 a gallon. You know, I mean, it's to me, the conversation that Lila had, again, the questions that she asked, the points that she brought up, she's not wrong. I'm not going to say she was wrong. But the execution, the ideas behind it are, they're skewed by a political notion that we should just be able to take from people who have earned and give it to those who haven't. I don't like that. I can never subscribe to that.
Well, from listening to what she was talking about, part of it, I think, is coming from a misunderstanding of Karl Marx.
It could. I don't know. I haven't read Marx. I never felt compelled to read it. Him.
Oh, you should read everything, man.
Yeah. Well, I'm the wrong person to tell me to read everything. I just read other things.
Paul reads things. Stop it. Comics don't count.
F you, dude. I enjoy my Marvel.
Your Marvel. Hey, listen, let me answer this question for me really quick. There's a large group of people on the conservative end of the spectrum that think that all taxes are bad. We've had some comments in the chat from people that I'm not going to pay taxes. We shouldn't have to pay taxes, yada, yada. Where do you stand on that? Do you agree that all taxes are out of bounds, or do you think that
taxes?
No, all taxes are. But taxation without representation is an issue. And
Correct.
Anybody who thinks half this state does not have representation right now, and they haven't for years. So is that a problem? Well, no, we can't have a government and ask the government to provide certain things and not have some degree somewhere of taxes that have to be paid, right? So money's got to come from somewhere, right? Which is why we should have a basic tax structure. It just should be fair. And you can debate the different merits of the different forms, you know, whether it's a flat tax or whatever. But this idea, like, I don't believe it's ethical to take money from a guy that's worth $1 billion just because he's done so amazingly well, irrespective of where his money came from. Like,
Right.
Good on his family for making generational wealth and then passing it along to each other. Why shouldn't they be able to do that? And why should I tax them more? The Democrats are considering, it didn't make it through this year, but you know it will next. They're considering a carbon tax for every person in the state on breathing.
Yep.
Fucking breathing. Some of them Democrats better be paying more than the rest of us because they are fucking blowhards.
So how do they enforce that?
I don't know. Lori might know. In fact, I think Lori might have been the one that posted it in the chat room. Because somebody posted it and I saw it. I just don't remember who. My gut tells me it was Lori though.
Yeah. So I'm not sure how they're going to do that, but I think basically they're just going to take the residential population and divide it up by how many days and how many average breath that you've taken, and then tax you accordingly.
I mean, think about that, Kevin.
What idiot came up with this idea?
I guarantee you they had a D next to their name.
I want to know what idiot wrote this idea into a proposal.
Yeah. Good question, man.
That person needs to be voted out.
that person needs a Darwin Award.
Unfortunately, they've probably procreated, so they're not eligible.
I'm going to leave that alone. I mean, I don't know, man. If you can't look at this state, and California as another great example, it's like the stuff has gotten so skewed. It's so crazy. Both states have a significant portion of their population that has zero representation at the state level. And yeah, we can say, well, we have people like Travis Couture that's elected and he's in office. Yeah, he don't get to speak much. And if the Dems don't want to listen to an amendment to a bill, they don't have to even hear him out. And you all tell me that I dare any one of you sitting there to tell me you did not see the video of the two ranking Democrats talking about people coming to speak about the income tax. They list people up and you sign up and you go on Zoom and you speak out against whatever bill's coming up, where both of them literally stated, clear as a bell, they don't listen to anybody that comes up and talks. They don't listen whatsoever.
No,
tell me you guys heard that.
They don't care.
Right, they don't care. And if they don't care enough about the people that want to speak their piece about a bill, right? Isn't that part of our freaking process? And they're acknowledging that they just don't care to listen to anybody. Oh, you can get up and you can speak, but I'll be playing a video game on my phone while you're doing it. That's what they're telling you. And it is beyond the pale when it comes to what's appropriate as an elected representative and what isn't. It's just disgusting. I don't know how else to word it.
All right, we're going to take a break. It's top of the hour. Paul, when I come back, I'm going to ask you about the Trump administration. I've been waiting to get into this until we got you on, because I think the administration is in serious trouble on a couple different fronts that just make it look like they don't know what they're doing. So hold that thought. We're going to take a break. When we come back, I'm going to ask you about it, give you a chance to throw your 2 cents in, all right?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
All right. We'll take a break. It's Outlaw Radio. When we come back, more with Paul, more with your comments, more from the chat.
More with Tom, more with Lori.
More with Dennis. But no Beeler because, she had better things to do.
She had to make sure somebody had risen.
Outlaw Radio. Stick around. Back after this.
Outlaw Radio Network brought to you in part by Kids App Great Escape, Admin a la carte, and our great friends at Destination Highway 420 and Black Ring Spirits. Back with more after the break.
This is the Outlaw Radio Network.
You're listening to the Outlaw Radio Network, powered by our friends at Destination Highway 420, Kitsap County's premier stop for premium selection. Find your destination today, 21 and over.
Are you ready to elevate your spirits? Look no further than Black Ring Spirits, your local craft distillery nestled in Town Square Mall. Indulge in the smooth richness of our handcrafted spirits, meticulously distilled to perfection. Whether you prefer the bold kick of our bourbon or the subtle sophistication of our gin, Black Ring Spirits has something for every palate. Visit us today at Town Square Mall and experience the essence of true craftsmanship. Black Ring Spirits, where passion meets perfection, unconventionally traditional.
This is McGruff the Crime Dog, and I need you to help me take a bite out of crime. Another teenager fell victim to fake pills. Smells like big crime that needs to be stopped. Where are these pills coming from, and how are kids getting them? Right from under our noses, crooks are targeting kids on social media and selling them counterfeit pills that could seal their fate with a click of a button. It may seem harmless, maybe it doesn't even seem like a drug deal, but it definitely is. So before buying pills online, think about this. Should buying prescription pills be that easy? Think these pills are tested and safe? Think they're the same ones you get from a doctor? You know they're not. Did you know that many fake pills contain fentanyl? And an amount small enough to fit on the tip of a pencil can be lethal. Listen, before buying pills from social media, think again. Learn more at mcgruffpsa.org and go for real. Brought to you by USPTO and the National Crime Prevention Council.
On a recent episode of the Outlaw Radio Network,
Some of our listeners even appreciated you dumbing it down for them. So, on behalf
Sometimes
of
I have to
thank you.
mansplain for people like. By the way, mansplaining is when men explain things to a woman in a condescending tone.
Well, when Kevin explains things in a condescending tone.
the Outlaw Radio Network, Sunday nights at their new time from 6 to 10.
Admin a la carte are specialized local experts committed to helping you run your small business. From general admin and sales support to marketing, digital media and technology to real estate and compliance, Admin a la carte's only goal is to take your business to the next level. Find out how Admin a la carte can elevate your business. Visit admin-a-la-carte.com for more information. That's admin-alacarte.com. Admin a la carte. Your business doesn't fit into a box. Why should you have to?
This episode of the Outlaw Radio Network is brought to you by Destination Highway 420 in Bremerton. Looking for a knowledgeable cannabis shop with a great local vibe? Destination Highway 420 offers a wide selection of Washington State cannabis products, including flower, pre-rolls, edibles, and concentrate from trusted producers across the state. Their friendly staff can help you find exactly what you're looking for in a relaxed, welcoming environment. Visit Destination Highway 420 at 1225 Hollis Street in Bremerton. Must be 21 or older with valid ID.
This is Spike Cohen. This is Jesse Young.
I'm Brandy Cruz, host of the Undivided Podcast.
And you're listening to
my friends on the Outlaw Radio Network.
All right, so we're getting some reports of some issues with comments in the chat. Tegan said she tried to comment, but her comments say declined. I know Boss Baby is in the background. Boss Baby, do you know what it means when they say declined? Is that a Facebook nonsensical bullshit stuffy thing? She gives me a thumbs up and says it is. It looks like Facebook is messing with you, Tegan. That's what happens when you're a conservative online. So yeah. All right, Paul's back. Hello, Pollywog. Oh, Paul's frozen. Hello, Paul.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. There you are.
Hello. Okay.
You're wherever you're at now. Your internet connection's garbage.
Okay. I tried to come inside where it was a little bit warmer, but the internet's been acting weird today. Man.
Be a man. Anyway.
Oh, God, I hate you sometimes.
Hey, well, you could be in studio where it's warm. By the way, Paul, we are living like third world immigrants here in the studio tonight.
You are not.
Third world immigrants. Third world immigrants don't get ice.
You are
No,
such
third
an
world immigrants get a lot of
entitled.
ice, just different kinds.
You're so entitled here.
I am actually drinking ice water in studio.
It's good for you. Your kidneys appreciate it.
It's so bad.
Probably part of your back problem.
Oh, my back is so bad tonight too. My back is so bad. I took Vicodin earlier. It didn't help. That's how bad the
we
back
need to go
is.
home early.
No, we're not going home
You
early.
should stretch.
In fact, we're probably going to do an extra hour because I'm going to be awake anyway. Might as well do the show.
No.
No, we're not.
No,
I have
we're
to
not.
get up early.
So do I.
Hey, before we get to our topic, can I give you the good news, Paul? I have really good news for you.
You do, huh?
Our
All
fine
right.
friends at MGM Las Vegas have come up with a brand new summer promotion.
Okay.
You ready for this?
Yep.
For $330. Okay.
Okay.
You and a person of your choosing get a hotel room for 2 nights, plus 3 meals each day that you're there, plus 2 tickets to a show, plus 2 tickets to ride the giant roller coaster out in front of New York, New York.
On top.
Well, I won't ride that fucking roller coaster, but I would take everything else.
Oh, that roller coaster is so fun.
$330 for 2 nights.
Really?
I mean,
Tom,
yes. No, it's really good because just
not bad at all.
and it includes resort fees, so you don't have to pay resort fees on top of it.
Wait. Can you go on the weekend though?
There's
Or
no
is it-
blackout dates. There's no anytime you want. And if you want to go for longer than 2 days, you could just book it twice and do 4 days. So it's not like you're limited to only 2 days, so they can get you on the backside.
Yeah.
Well, your
So,
bank
Paul,
account's
what
going to
would-
limit you.
Well, but still $330 to do all that. I mean,
wow.
So hold on. Is it $330 for 2 people total?
Yes.
Wait, that's 2 people.
Okay, I got you.
2 people.
Oh.
Include your
Yeah,
meals.
that's a
I need to find a
the
boyfriend.
meals alone will run you $300.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just got to get yourself there.
That's okay.
Yeah, airline tickets are going to be.
Airline tickets are expensive right
Yeah, I was looking at airline tickets, and you're looking
Okay,
at
everybody,
$300.
you need to book on Tuesdays because that's the best time to book.
Yeah, but aviation fuel is just out of control
yeah.
right now.
But if you can book out like 2 to 3 weeks, then it's cheaper as
Yeah,
well.
Yeah.
So I'm going to Vegas for my birthday.
$330
Yeah.
for 2 people? That's a scream.
I want to go to Vegas for my birthday because I'll be 55. And nothing sounds better than Vegas in the middle of July.
Are you turning 55 this year?
Yep.
I am.
He's an old man. I mean,
Oh.
Well,
say
I'm
that
taking my
just
first
once.
vacation in about 10 years this July, so that won't work for me. Now, if you wanted to go in August or something, that might work, but if you're going in July, I couldn't do that.
I'm going for my birthday. I can't move my birthday to August. You schmuck.
You can go for Isaac's birthday.
I could go for Isaac's birthday, or Isaac. Could
Well,
go
if,
for
and,
Isaac's birthday.
and here's the thing, brother. Check this out. This is novel, but you don't actually have to go for your birthday. Just saying.
I already have that week off of work. I'm
Okay.
going for my birthday. I will go by myself if I have to. I literally will. I've gone to Vegas by myself before. I'll do it again.
don't threaten him with a good time, Paul.
Yeah, no kidding, right? No, I would love to go, and I know my other half would love to go too. She loves the casinos. Not the best of luck at them, but she loves them. So
right.
check
Well,
this
then
out. Listen to this. My nephew went up to Suquamish, went up to Clearwater Casino this last week.
Which nephew?
He just turned 18. Caleb's son, Wyatt. Okay, so he
Okay.
turned 18, got his new driver's license and everything else, right? Goes up there, first time ever at the casino, 18 years old, brand new driver's license in his hand, like brand new, right? Like he'd only had it for a couple of days. He goes up there, wins a $5,000 jackpot.
Are you serious?
Wow.
And the casino and the casino refused to pay him
Why?
What?
because they told him his ID was fake. He's like, it's not fake. I just got it. I just turned 18. And they kept it, called the cops on him, had him escorted off the property. And the cops like, yeah, man, we're sorry. This ID isn't fake. You have to take him to small claims court. What kind of fucking horse shit is that? I can
Wow.
understand
And
if they're
so
going to
even
claim that the
cop-
machine. Huh?
The cops even told the casino it wasn't fake.
Yep.
And they still refused to pay him.
Yep. And his
not good.
now he has behavioral issues. So I'm like, well, maybe he did something. Nope. The cop's like, no, he was fine. Because my brother had to go up and get him. Yeah, it was like, and I did some research on it, and I mean, literally, there are no laws when it comes to casinos and them refusing to pay out. Like, they can refuse to pay anybody. And as the more research I started doing, I was just like, holy shit, man. Like, they had this lady won a $23 million jackpot. They refused to pay out. Like, there's literally millions won every year at casinos, and the casinos can refuse to pay out. All they have to do is claim the machine malfunctioned, but they didn't even do that with my nephew. They said they thought his ID was fake. Yeah. I mean, it makes me not ever want to go have anybody I know drop money at a fucking casino.
Yeah, it does.
You know,
Yeah.
like that's just some horseshit. Kid just turned 18. It's his first experience at a casino. Bad juju, man. Bad juju.
Margie just asked, 18 we can gamble at very few casinos in the state, but a couple of them. Suquamish is one, I believe. Spokane might be one of them, or Yakima, or one of the tribes on the eastern part of the state.
That's what was funny, dude. That was my first thought. I'm like, why are you in the casino? You're not 21. like no shit, they refused to pay you. He's like, no, you can gamble at 18 up there. Yeah. So, but anyway, I just thought I'd throw that out there. So if any of you like to go to the Suquamish Casino, just know that they are not afraid to take your fucking jackpot and not pay out. So
that's so
that's not good for sales.
Do you think?
Yeah. That's his other avenue, is just make that as public as possible.
See if he's willing to come on the show, and then what I'll do is I'll email their PR department and say, hey, we got this guy coming on our radio show that said that X,
I'll certainly ask. He probably would. He probably wouldn't have any problem with it. So he wasn't mad, he was miffed. Like he was like, what? I don't understand like what I did, you know, like he was really confused. But you know, and it's on, he even told the cops to watch the video, and the casino played them the video. He didn't do nothing wrong, he didn't fuck with anything, he didn't do anything. Put his ticket in, played for a few minutes, won, the lights started going off, all these people gathered around him and were cheering and all that other stuff, and then he went to go cash out, and they told him they weren't going to pay him because they thought his ID was fake. Wow. I could have understood if they'd have said, well, your machine malfunctioned, right? Because I think that's actually legitimate, right? Although I'm going to be straight with you, I can't imagine when you're bringing in that much money, I don't think there's much excuse to have machines that malfunction regularly. Like that's a little sketch to me. But yeah, the more research, because I had never heard of that before. I didn't even know they could do that. And so I started researching and found out it is a much more common thing than I ever would have thought. But not per se at Suquamish. I mean, all across the country.
Just general.
But just in general, yeah. So speaking of casinos, can I just bring up really quick? I just want to give some serious props to our state congresswoman in the 6th. Twinkle Tits has been at it again. And it's amazing watching all of these people congratulate her for having her 2 town halls this last weekend, both of which were kept completely secret. You had to sign up, put your name on a list, and then RSVP in order to even find out the time and location. That's a really successful way to make sure that nobody's going to find out, or that nobody's going to be, or at least very few people will be in attendance to your town hall meetings that you don't want there.
I would say all that is a setup for an echo chamber.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's why and when you look at the statistics, CNN just ran this last week. 70% of Americans feel that the Democratic Party in the United States are focused on the wrong issues. Go figure. Well, I'm watching this woman. She does her little fucking private TED talk every day to her computer screen and posts it on Facebook and tells everybody how she's doing exactly what her constituents want. The problem is she leaves out part of that sentence. Half of. You know, this is a woman that has a hard time with the truth, right? I would have no issue with her giving her statements if she acknowledged that she's not representing everybody. But she says the opposite. She's like Anderson Cooper on there, giving a story with his opinion, but not telling everybody that it's his opinion and presenting it as fact. It's incredibly problematic, and this is the reason why Congress has, what, a 17% approval rating or some shit? But yeah, that's my soapbox.
Well, listen, you know, Emily Randall's the gift that keeps on giving, man. You know, the longer she is where she's at, the more she does a great job of giving us stuff to talk about. I mean, she's so, I don't know, man.
She's an ideologue, brother. She's an ideologue. She's not in Congress for the right reasons, you know, and it's unfortunate and it's very telling. You know, it like I said, you know, you want it like Tara Simmons. You want to give elected reps, no matter what side of the aisle they're on, an opportunity to show that they deserve the privilege of being where the voters have put them. And now very much the two of them are in the same boat. They are just consistently proving why they are not in positions of elected leadership. They do not deserve to be there. There's an absolute refusal to recognize the fact that they have, however many people they have in their district, that they refuse to represent, probably over half at any given time. So it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
Well, you and I have talked about that before. I feel like both sides do it though, right? Like they're only going to represent who they got elected to serve. I don't feel like Emily Randall's on an island by herself with that motif. I think Republicans do it. I think
she certainly is. Well, everybody has the potential to do it, right? It comes down to personal, your personal moral compass, right? I have a hard time believing that. Let's say I was having an issue with the VA, right? And I'm an outspoken conservative. I'm outspoken on her pages, but I'd be willing to bet that if I sent a letter under my real name to her office asking for help, I wouldn't even get a response. In fact, I'd bet money on it. They know who I am on her page. They've responded to me personally on a few occasions, and they absolutely know who I am. So I do not think that. Now, I would do it just to test that, but I also have more integrity than making up a bullshit story too. Like I'm not going to make something up and try to set them up. I'm not going to play the gotcha game. I think that her record speaks for itself. Her words speak for themselves. So, and I'll leave it at that. So you had some questions, Kev, you wanted to get into.
I actually wanted to share something with you. I haven't told you guys this yet, but I actually have a meeting on the 17th.
You get another kid?
No, stop.
Oh, okay.
I have a meeting on the 17th with Addison Richards.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
couldn't book him for the fucking show, but you got a meeting with him. Okay.
Well, every time we've reached out about him coming on the show, he's punted. He may not even know that I am.
I know.
But
right.
I talked to his assistant.
That's a fair point. It's a fair
his
point.
Assistant called about something, doing one of their cold calls about, trying to get people to pay attention to something he's doing or whatever. And I basically whined and complained about the situation with my daughter and that nobody's ever done anything.
Mm-hmm.
And she called back 3 weeks later and said he'd like to meet with you. So I have a meeting with him on the 17th. So we'll see.
Okay. Well, if you need me to sit down with you and go over what you need to say before you go in, I'm happy to do that, brother. Because if you can't parlay this into an interview, well, sorry, dude.
Well, to me, there's
no reason you can't. There's only you getting an interview out of this because there ain't nothing he can do for your daughter.
Right? I would hope that somebody would introduce legislation like we talked about before. All right, let's get back to the Trump conversation.
Okay.
Because my back's
you're right.
Anyway,
by the way, whatever you're about to say about Trump, you're right.
Paul, it feels to me like this entire administration has gone ass backwards. I mentioned before you joined us tonight that 6 months ago, the administration felt like they were on a decent path. The economy was well. Inflation was slowly ticking down off of the Biden administration. It felt like he had an agenda and a plan that he was following pretty well. It sounded like he had a great bunch of people around him to support him and his agenda. Fast forward 6 months later, we're involved in a war in Iran that doesn't really feel like he had a plan if Iran didn't crumble automatically. Additionally, it's caused oil prices to spike, so the cost of gasoline across the country has skyrocketed. And he's losing people out of his administration hand over fist. In the last 2 weeks, they've lost Joe Kent because he resigned. Kristi Noem and then earlier this weekend,
Bondi.
Pam Bondi. It feels like the administration suddenly forgot what they were doing, or am I oversimplifying it?
After you, Paul, I have an opinion on this for Kevin.
Breaking news.
Look, Kevin, dude. Here's what I will say. On some levels, I do believe that you're oversimplifying it. On other levels, we see consistent turnover in administrations all the time. It doesn't matter the administration. It's just for whatever reason, when Trump's lets somebody go, it seems to get magnified about one reason or another, right? When Kristi Noem was released, it was, she was a horrible person and iced this and all that other stuff. No, she fucking lied under congressional testimony and got fired for it. Like, That's a pretty good reason for firing somebody, right? Pam Bondi, look, none of us were there, but apparently there was a heated argument last week between the president and Pam Bondi, and I don't think anybody would sit back and defend her handling of the Epstein files, right? Like, she's done a really poor ass fucking job at that. Watching her congressional testimony, her behavior was unconscionable to me as an attorney general. Like, I'd have fired her right after that. It was that her look. I understood in her mind she was playing the political game and she was giving back to the Democrats as they were giving to her. But I'm sorry, man. When you're the top law enforcement officer in the country, you got to rise above that political fluff, man. She did a horrible job in that testimony. She did a horrible job of handling the Epstein files. You know, she needed to go. I don't fault him for it at all, not one bit. Now, apparently, rumors are circulating that he's going to fire Tulsi Gabbard. That's a different story because he's talking about the rumors are that he's talking about firing her because of some social media post. Like, to me, that would be fucking like what the fuck are you doing moment, right? Now, there's a rumor coming out that a bunch of generals just got sacked. Now, we all know publicly that the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff did get sacked, okay? But we don't know the details around that. We don't know why, right? People on the left are reporting all of these people got fired by Trump because they refused to follow his orders. No. If that was the case, it'd be all over mainstream media. They would love to report that. They would CNN and MSN Now or MS Now, whatever they're called this week. They'd be all over that like stink on shit, right? And if you're not seeing it out of them, it's not the case, right? So whenever he got removed for, I don't know what it was. You know, those conversations happen at levels so far beyond any of our pay grade. It's not even worth speculating until somebody that's truly in the know comes out and says something. Now, you have a legitimate criticism with regards to the war and gas prices. So let's put a pin in that. And that's one category, right? That's a legitimate complaint. People have they have every right to bitch about that. It affects their everyday lives, and there seems to be no solution to that. Obviously, Trump's getting more and more frustrated about it. His Truth Social post this morning was, well, it looked like your your alcoholic uncle got himself to the sauce on Easter. Okay, like what the fuck are you saying, dude? Like, we don't need a president trading barbs with a foreign country over social media that you're at war with, right? It's just like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? You're doing nothing but you're encouraging the enemy to fight harder when you talk that kind of bullshit. Like, it's just not necessary. If you're going to beat somebody down, you can do it without talking shit while you're doing it. And make no mistake, we're beating the shit out of them. Do they still have capacity to fire missiles? Yeah, we haven't gotten them all yet. Absolutely, they still have the capacity. You can't go fight a war and not have losses. And I had to have this discussion with my son today. Hunter, I love you. But Jews are not responsible for all the problems in the world today. And once you start a war, you better fucking be in it to win it. And I'm under no illusion. We started this war. Am I okay with it? Strangely, yes. You know, this war's been brewing for 47 years, and Trump finally had the balls to do something about it. Estimates are 60 to 70% of our casualties in Iraq were a direct result of IRGC. So this is a conflict that's been coming. Okay, now it's here. Fucking win it. Take the gloves off. I have no problem with them going in and blowing the shit up out of bridges and the infrastructure. Do it. You know, there were a lot of reports coming out on X today that it was Iranian civilians that helped find that pilot that was down, and the operation and the way that was pulled off, fucking amazing.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I thought
fucking amazing.
I thought when they hadn't found him within 12 hours, I thought he was toast. Like, you're down behind enemy lines,
right?
In a country that they're not going to be prone to like you because your country's been bombing the crap out of them.
Well, and remember,
you
right?
know,
Well, and that's go ahead. What?
Oh, I was just saying, you know, our pilots go through very extensive training for that.
Oh, hell yes, they do.
Oh, yeah.
For that very reason. Yep.
But I'm just saying, I mean, you know, he went down behind enemy lines. It's not I can't imagine he felt confident. You know, like he had training, but he had.
Well, I can tell you this: he was in the mountains. He was at over 7,000 feet in elevation. He was high up there, and he was basically working his way through the rocks and everything else so that he could get to a location where he could be extricated. Because you can't go in over foreign soil with just one helicopter, right, and pull a guy out. You got to go in force. We didn't lose it. We didn't have a single injury. We lost a couple of helicopters, but they were destroyed on purpose by our forces. So they had to leave them behind, and so they destroyed them, and then they got everybody out. But they literally went in, as I understand it, and they built a fucking landing strip to get this guy out. And listen, when you can operate with that level of impunity on foreign soil, shit's going your way. So these people that are out there going, we're losing. No, we are so far from losing. It's pathetic that you would even suggest it. Like, on the same note, though, we don't know what the intelligence says. And my son brought up a good point when he was like, I've been hearing that Iran is 2 weeks from a nuclear bomb for years. Well, no, that's not what you've actually been hearing. You've been hearing that they're getting closer and they're getting closer. You've heard that a lot, but you've never heard they're 2 weeks away from having a bomb. Because when you look at enrichment ratios and where they're at, theoretically, they're there, and they have been for a while. Having said that, tell me if you guys would be surprised, and I mean this very sincerely, would you be surprised if a nuclear detonation happened in Tel Aviv? I wouldn't.
No.
I really wouldn't. I would expect that. I mean, Iran already has everything they need to create a nuclear bomb. It would not take much for them to already have one sitting in Israel somewhere, and they're just waiting for the right moment to detonate it. Or for that matter, in this country.
Well, and let's be honest too, they don't need a nuclear bomb.
That's correct.
Because they can use a dirty bomb with nuclear materials in it, and it doesn't. It's not going to do the same amount of damage as a nuclear bomb.
Absolutely.
But it's going to do considerable damage. And if you were to detonate that in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, you know,
Iran could do more damage to this country than people have the even remotest idea about, and they don't need a nuke to do it at all. Do you know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? All they would need is a few EMP bombs.
Do they have EMPs?
In this? Oh, hell
China.
yeah.
China does.
Absolutely, they have EMPs. It's just an electromagnetic pulse. Now, one nuclear detonation approximately 200 miles over the top of the dead center of the United States would cause an EMP large enough to knock the whole country out. You don't think that in this country that's fate worse than death? 90% of the people in this country would not know what to fucking do if the government didn't come to their aid within 72 hours. And you'd have a whole country knocked back to the Stone Age. Like, when I hear people go on this diatribe about how Iran's not a threat, I simply look at them and say, your level of naivete is beyond stunning, right? Iran only needs one nuke detonated high above our atmosphere in the United States to do more damage to this country than people could ever realize. And I'm not talking about radiation or fallout. I'm talking about knocking out the national power grid. Kevin, if your power went out today and was out for 6 months, how do you think you'd fare? Because that's the estimated time that it would take if a nationwide power grid went down as a result of an EMP. The last estimate I read, at least the one that was put out by Puget Sound Energy back in the mid 2000s, said 6 months to recuperate. Yeah. 6 fucking months, dude. I don't have 6 months. I'm a prepper and I don't have 6 months worth of food sitting around. I got 4 if I'm good and I ration it.
Yeah. I don't think it would take 6 months. Because remember when COVID hit, they said it'll be years before we get a vaccine, and then suddenly they found a vaccine.
Brother, that's not so. No, stop, Kev. Apples and oranges, brother.
Let me finish. All I'm saying is, I believe when the government gives these warnings, they temper it with really bad connotations because they want to instill fear. But I think they can do things quicker than they're telling us.
I love you, but no offense, Tom, but this is something I actually read. Kevin, the problem is that the power companies do not stockpile capacitors that sit on electric poles. Okay. They built them as they need them. Okay. Because they're too expensive to house and keep in good shape. I don't know what all the particulars all about them, but they don't keep that many. They keep a few And they keep those for wintertime because, you know, those things blow. The little blue glow in the light, right? Tree hits one, whatever, power lines drop, right? But an EMP would blow every single one of them out. Now they all have to be replaced. And let me ask you this, Kevin. How do you suppose they're going to get the factories up and running with no power? How are they going to get the workers even informed that they need to get to it would take a phenomenal amount of time. And you're like, oh, I don't think it'll take 6 months. Dude, I think we'd be lucky and graced by God if it only took 6 months. Right? It's so important for people to understand the whole process that it takes to begin producing those things and putting them back up. You've got to get the crews out. You've got to notify the crews. You've got to get those companies mass producing those capacitors again. Right? All of that stuff takes time, and they would have to get power to their factories first, which would obviously come with generators, but it's the process of getting, you've got to imagine it would take a month before they could even start producing those things again. And even at that, it's going to take months and months to get the crews together, to get them reinstalled, to travel them across country. Remember, you have no power. How are you pumping gas? You know, like, this is such a monumental thing that people can't even quantify in their own minds. And they laugh about it and they joke because they think we're invincible. We're not invincible. We're fragile. We're very, very fragile. I'll leave it at that. It's enough preaching for me for tonight.
Yeah, I don't see Iran doing anything like that.
Well, I don't either. I would like to think I hope that they do not have the capacity to put a warhead large enough to cause that size of EMP and then launch it over the continental United States. Like I feel safe that they don't have that ability. But I mean, dude, for all I know, you got one guy on a suicide mission in a plane and he puts that thing in the back of his plane and flies it over the United States, you know? Like, I remember what happened to this country after 9/11. You know, that was a bunch of guys with box cutters.
Yeah. I feel like Iran is in a really insane spot, in the sense that they have to defend themselves, but they don't want to defend themselves in such a way that they make it worse. You know what I mean? Like,
so if I'm understanding it, are you saying they don't want to defend themselves in a way that shows their offensive capabilities? Is that what you mean?
No, what I'm saying is if they were to do an EMP or a dirty bomb or anything, then the U.S. would respond with ground forces. Like right now, Iran is...
I think you're going to see that. You're going to see that this week.
You think we're going to put boots on the ground in Iran this week?
I have zero doubt. God, I have thought they were going to do it today. They're not going to go into Iran proper. They're going to take Karg Island.
Well, okay, hold on. But yeah, to me, Karg Island is not. I mean, it's not the same as putting boots on the ground in Iran proper.
Why not? It's Iranian soil.
It is, but it's not going to lead to the level of battle that we would face if we win. I'm not advocating for it. I'm just saying that taking that island will be literally a piece of cake compared to trying to put boots on the ground and take Iran proper. I'm not advocating for it, but I don't think Karg Island is.
So we talked about this, a while ago.
Well, let me finish. I don't think it's a tremendous risk to American forces. And there's always a risk, but I don't think it's a monumental risk. Go ahead.
Iran's not going to just sit back and allow Karg Island to be taken and not do anything about it.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
agreed, Tom. Agreed.
But I mean, the problem we have is, we talked about this a while ago.
We talked about this last week, brother.
Well, was it last week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The conversation about, should we be in Iran? Yes or no? Right. I mean, we got around all that. We're there, so it doesn't matter if we should or shouldn't.
Yes. That's right, Tom. You're 100% correct, Tom.
But the conversation, was also around, how we fight in this modern era. And I don't think we're going to fight this war right. We're not.
I think that's a legitimate concern, man.
The way we fought World War II is different than the way we fought Korea and Vietnam and Desert Storm and
we haven't taken the gloves off since World War II.
Correct.
No. If we fought Iran like we fought the Germans, this would already be over.
You're right.
You would
No
have
disagreement, Kevin.
You would have carpet bombed Tehran. You'd have carpet bombed Karg Island. You'd have carpet bombed any other major city. 100,000 people died in Tokyo when we firebombed Tokyo.
Mm-hmm.
We would never fight a war like that today. Now you can argue if we should or shouldn't or whatever, right? That's not the point. But we're not fighting a war in Iran with the intent of annihilating our enemy like we did in World War II. We're trying to fight a war where we inflict just enough damage for them to give up.
That's not going to happen.
It is the belief of the United States government that the Iranian people will rise up and overthrow the Ayatollah's family and the government that's in place. The problem is without sending ground troops in there, you still have those individual IRGC soldiers on the ground with their AK-47s, right? And the average person in Iran doesn't have a gun. How are they going to fight back against that? I don't see that there's any way to win this war without putting boots on the ground and putting them on the mainland soil. And with that in mind, frankly, like, you can debate this after the war. Our men and women, our children are in harm's way, and I think we need to support them and support the administration. Take the gloves off, obliterate the enemy. You do whatever is necessary to bring as many of our young men and women home as you can. Then you debate the merits of it. Like, I don't have much patience for people that want to sit around, well, we shouldn't be there and this, that. Yeah, you know what? Well, we fucking are. We fucking are. So shut your mouth. Toe the rope while we're in the conflict. Afterwards, have at it. Have at it. But I don't want my son or his buddies that are in the service right now hearing about all this political strife back home, because you know what? That ain't fucking right. Those folks over there that are fighting better goddamn well know that we're behind them 110%. Whether they agree or disagree with the president, again, that is a political conversation for after the war.
Yeah. No more Vietnam.
That's right.
Right.
Well, the problem you're going to have with that, Paul, is the media is so happy to hold Trump.
That's right, Kevin. That's right. Yes.
On a public chopping block. That the troops are going to be put right in the middle of that, no matter what. The media is not going to ease up on it.
Well, and neither is the populace, right? I mean,
no, half the population hates him with a passion. They think he's a fucking king. So yeah, Tom, you're right. You're right.
It's the social side of the conversation. Really being involved in Iran right now is going to create more rainbows and unicorns for the social situation that we're all living through right now.
Yeah, there's and you guys tell me if you agree or disagree with me on this, but I feel there's so much hatred towards Trump from probably about 40 to 50% of the population of this country, that there's no thought outside of that, right? Like, they can't see past their hatred of the guy that they've always had to look at the more pressing issues. Like, hate him all you want. I'm okay. I don't have a problem with anybody that hates Trump. I don't. It's fine. You can hate him. You have every right to hate the guy. But we have a much bigger issue in front of us right now, right? Because now that we're in this war, can you imagine the fucking world in 6 months if we leave the Ayatollah and those and his kid, and we leave the IRGC in control of Iran? Do you know what will happen next? You're talking about and I heard people make the comment, well, Iran never attacked anybody. You dumb motherfucker. Who do you think fucking was paying Hamas? Who do you think is paying the fucking Houthis? Who do you think is paying Hezbollah? Those people are extensions of the IRGC. They are Iran. They are Iran.
And
so all of these
terrorists and suicide bombers in Israel, Iran's got their hands up.
Yes, absolutely. So you know what? It's time to cut the head off the snake and be done with it.
Yeah. Well, but again, Paul, it gets back to the discussion we had a minute ago about, are they willing to fight that level of a war? Are we willing to go and have that level? And I don't think we are. I don't think it's palatable to the American public, and I don't.
Well, I will say this to you, brother. I do not discredit you at all for what you're saying, because I think those are incredibly valid points. But I think this war is exactly the reason President Trump put Pete Hegseth in that position, because he's a fucking warrior. And I get that people don't like Hegseth because he's a Trump guy, right? Well, it doesn't fucking matter who he is. He's a fucking soldier. He's a lifelong soldier. And he knows what it takes to fashion a winning army. And if he's able to do it his way without politics, I don't think there's any question who ends up on the winning side of this.
So has anyone heard anything more about the April 6th deadline? There's supposed to be some diplomacy, and if diplomacy doesn't work by the 6th, I thought we were supposed to decimate a power grid or power infrastructure.
Can I read this quote about Tuesday?
Infrastructure and the bridges. Yes, Tom. Go ahead, Kev.
Here's his quote, and this is a direct quote from his post on Truth Social. Quote: Tuesday will be Power Plant Day and Bridge Day, all wrapped up in one in Iran. There will be nothing like it. Open the fucking strait, you crazy bastards, or you'll be living in hell. Just watch. Praise be to Allah, President Donald J. Trump.
Yeah, I had a lot of people reach out to me about trying to justify this. I'm like, I don't have to justify shit. Haven't you ever heard of somebody being facetious? Like, he's clear to me. He's clearly saying this way. Like, I'm about to fuck you up. Praise be Allah, right? Yeah. But you can't read nuance in a fucking text. So I get that, but the people who are pointing that out in that fashion are people who, again, these are people who already hate him. And they're just trying to nitpick anything they can find. Jeremy, love you, Trojo. You're at the top of the ladder, brother. Like, you can't go through life an abject failure and criticize people that have levels of success you couldn't imagine in your best dreams. Like, let them do what they're going to do. Jerk off on your own time and praise God that those people have your back, because you're free to fucking criticize them.
Yeah. Well, look,
and make sure you hand the girl a tissue.
Oh, so many things I want to say. Well, listen, he's got a 60 to 90 day window, right, before Congress has to get involved. And we're already past halfway to the 60. Right, we're over 30 days now, because it started on February.
Just over 30 days.
Yeah.
35 days or something like that.
Yeah. So this is not an anti-Trump thing. It's just a matter of fact, right? If he's going to put boots in, he needs to do it quick. Because the last thing he wants to do is put boots in with 5 days left, and then 5 days later, Congress orders that they've all got to come back, and then what was the point, right? So if he's going to have time to accomplish a mission and do whatever he wants to do, if he is going to put boots on the ground, he literally has to do it relatively soon, or he's just not going to have enough time.
Let me give you a slightly skewed, a different way to think about this, right?
Okay.
He could wait until 59 days and put boots on the ground, because no self-respecting Republican is going to tell the president, hey, you just put boots on the ground. We've lost, because the casualty figures are up around 300 now, right? We've had multiple bases that you can't even occupy right now because they've hit them with drones. Okay. No self-respecting Republican is going to go against conservative America and say, yeah, you know what, he waited too long to put in ground troops. War's over. We're bringing everybody home. No, that's not going to happen. It's just not. Like, I would be shocked. Like, beyond, it would probably be the biggest shock I've ever seen in politics if Republicans did that. And they control everything right now. Now, it's a slim majority. Don't get me wrong. It's a slim majority. But if you had Thomas Massey, Rand Paul, and, say, Lauren Boebert vote to swing that, right, their political careers would be fucking done. They'd be done. That's a death knell in their political careers. I mean, I just don't think that's going to happen. It could. Don't get me wrong, but it could.
If you're Iran, the smartest thing they can do is tread water until November. Because if they do something,
that's right, Kevin. That's right.
Again, dirty bomb in Tel Aviv. That will rally enough people in this country, in Congress, to step up the action, to vote to get further involved.
I don't think you're wrong about that.
Yeah, but if Iran is just getting bitch slapped every day and it just is more of the status quo, this is going to get tiring really quick. Tom.
Do you think Iran can tread water until November? I mean, if tomorrow is the deadline and we go in and decimate, the power infrastructure and bridges, isn't the country kind of screwed at that point? I don't see him treading.
Here's the problem, right? Trump has said for a while, ever since this thing started, he was taking out the infrastructure. Why is Tuesday going to be any different? Why are we?
Because Kevin, we've been talking to them, and
there's been diplomatic.
There's been diplomatic stuff going on in the background, but at the same time, that island, Karg Island, that's the key. Because if we take Karg Island, which frankly I believe we're going to be able to do fairly easily, because we already have air superiority, right? We've got 2 Marine Expeditionary Units right there, ready to go, and the 101st Airborne as well. So you're going to have 2 Marine Expeditionary Units. That's 16,000 men, followed by I think it's about 24,000 from the Screaming Eagles, the 101st Airborne, that would paratroop in. Now, just let's keep that in mind for a second. That island only has 20,000 people on it. But what is that island important for? Because it is the hub. It is the center of Iran's oil export business. If you take that island, their economy comes to a screeching motherfucking halt instantly.
Yeah.
Instantly. Their oil ain't going out over those mountain passes. Their oil ain't going out on airplanes. Their oil stops. And so does their economy. I don't know how to be more clear about it, man. That is really the bottom line.
Doesn't that make it even more important then that Iran continues to keep the Strait of Hormuz closed?
It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. They're being given the opportunity to open it. And I think what the message Trump is sending is open the strait or I'm going to take that fucking island and we're going to ruin your fucking country. Not just the locations that we've hit, not just the little trucks we've blown up all over the place, not the little military bunkers that here's a great example. I saw a great example today on CNN. They quoted this thing that said, as fast as the U.S. is destroying Iranian bunkers, they're rebuilding them. Motherfucker, what? What, you think that they're forming up new concrete bunkers, pouring them, and yada, yada? Okay, look, I got my trowel. I'm making a nice surface. I'm doing a good job finishing. Look, the bunker's fixed. No, bitch. It takes 30 to 60 days for that shit to cure. Like it was such a ridiculously slanted fucking report. It was pathetic. No, unless they're making them out of wood. It's just that kind of stupid reporting that makes me look at these people like, I think that's almost the worst thing, right? You know that the people that work at CNN that have to put pen to paper and decide what stories are going to be reported on and which ones aren't, you can be like, can I get what he's having? Because he's fucked up in the head. That dude's high as a motherfucker. They're fixing the bunkers as fast as we're destroying them. Who the fuck's giving you your information? Yeah. Good Lord Almighty.
Gets back to what I said before. The media is going to paint Trump to be the bad guy no matter what 100% of the time. Not that he doesn't deserve to catch some flack over this whole thing. He
does. The buck. You're right, Kevin. The buck stops with him. And I'm not going to.
Literally, Iran could surrender tomorrow, shut down their nuke program, and agree to a democratic government voted on by the people. And the media would still come out and say, look what Donald Trump did to poor Iran.
No, look, that's true. How many times have we had this discussion over the last 12 years? Trump cures cancer, right? Trump is Christ-like, walks on water to save child from drowning. Lead story, Trump can't swim.
Yeah. Trump cures cancer. What about all the poor cancer companies that he put out of business?
Right, exactly. It's just like, it's the level of spin is, it's out there. You can't take it seriously. But on the same note, conservatives fucking thought Q was real. So it's not like one side's great and the other side's stupid. No, both sides have their stupid people. Yeah. Not the libertarians. They're the only smart ones. They want to make prostitution legal.
I don't know, man. We do have our collection of very strange anarchists.
Okay, well there is that. But I was trying to give you an out on that, Tom. So
we got to own ours too.
Well, again, I think the larger issue for me, Paul, honestly, is I just don't feel like this administration knows what it's doing with regards to Iran.
Well, but compared to what? Like, hold on. You made a comment earlier about, no exit strategy and stuff like that. Kevin, as soon as an invasion starts, as soon as a war starts, plans go out the window, man. And listen, I don't give a shit. If my country says we're going to war, do you think as a soldier, as a footman on the ground, I give two shits about an exit strategy? Nobody does. You know what? When it comes time for the war to end, we'll figure it out then. Like, I don't want my guys that are planning for war, I don't want my senior leadership spending one fucking second thinking about how we're going to end this. I want them thinking about how we're going to win it. Full stop. Don't waste your fucking time on, we got to have an exit strategy. The fuck you do. But kill them all till they stop shooting back. That is your formula for victory in war. Kill them till they stop shooting back.
But that's
Plain
not
and
how they're
simple.
fighting this war, though, Paul. That's my point.
What's
right?
that? Hold on.
That's
Say
not
that
how-
again. I didn't.
That's
Yeah, go
not
ahead.
how
Go
they're
ahead.
fighting this war. Because
It's not?
if your plan is to kill them all till they stop shooting at you, then limited airstrikes on military-only positions, playing it safe, telegraphing your moves. Well, hey, we might come take Targ Island in a couple of days unless you guys open up the strait. If the goal is to kick their ass, then you show up and kick their ass. You don't play tiddlywinks with them first, right?
But you also have an American society and culture that does not like troops coming home in body bags. The president is in a situation where he has to try to win this war with as few casualties as possible. Why is that? Because you have a midterm election coming up. You have to also, while you're fighting this war, you have to what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think. Well, basically, you have to figure into your mind and into your plan how you keep political control in your own country while executing the war, right? That has to be a consideration. It has to be, because if we just started going in there willy-nilly, we started killing tens of thousands of civilians, right? That's going to get held against you too. And that's a rallying cry for your political rivals.
So that I think what Kevin was trying to say, not so much an exit plan as a contingency plan. Like, the original.
What's the difference?
There's a big one, because the original thought was that when the Ayatollah was taken out, etc., when was it Epic Fury first got started, there was mass casualties amongst the Iranian elite, etc. And the thought was that the populace,
especially in that one building,
right. And the thought was that the populace would rise up and take their nation back.
Only an ignorant person would think that. I don't think the administration had that thought process. That's the thought process by pundits and people on CNN and MSNBC, right?
I think that was something that Trump was rooting for. I think that's something that.
Hold on. Rooting for is one thing, but I don't know why it just keeps escaping people, Tom. The IRGC, I think it's almost 200,000 members of the IRGC. Those are the hardliners, man. They're still on the streets with their AK. They kill a 16-year-old girl for not wearing a hijab, dude. Those guys are still on the streets.
Totally agree. I mean, I didn't think that was ever going to happen. I mean, aside from the fact that there's 200,000 armed troops that are controlling, society, it's been 47 years. There's a little bit of Stockholm syndrome there, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, that's a great point. Yes, I don't disagree with that.
So, if the idea was that the Iranian populace is going to rise up, did anyone say, what if they don't?
I don't know, Tom. We're not there. And let's be honest for a second, dude. That's not a question for us, you and me, to ask, because we're not in those meetings, and we can't expect that they're going to tell us.
No,
the government's not going to tell us what their plans are, and with that in mind, I'm a proponent. If you want the population to rise up, yes, we all do, right? What's the best way to accomplish that? Airdrop fucking crates of fucking weapons over Iran. Arm the fucking populace.
Yeah, here's the problem. Iran did I'm not justifying what they did, but Iran did what they needed to do to get the population beat back down again right away. They assassinated that girl. They assassinated the Olympian. So they are making it clear to their already beaten down and abused population, regardless of what the United States is doing, we are still in charge and we will still put people to death. So you guys need to know your role.
Which is exactly why we need boots on the ground. And I know there's going to be criticism for that comment, and I'm not saying that you're not justified in doing so, but you're either in a war or you're not. You can't. War is not soccer. You cannot play for a tie.
No.
Correct.
Well, I hate to be the guy to say this then. But
you're Navy, so whatever you say is going to be taken with a grain of salt.
Your Army whore mouth. The fact of the matter is,
just because guys in the Army get more pussy than guys in the Navy, I don't know.
Oh boy.
Anyway, I would rather let Iran eat itself, abuse itself, harm itself, hurt their own people, all of that, than for us to send in our men and women in uniform to have them come back in a body bag.
So you're not willing to do what it takes to win.
I'm.
That's a lot of eyes.
Hold on. Now, because we're there and because we're invested, we're engaged. Now I would have to be, but I wouldn't have done this in the first place.
Okay, but now you're playing the what? But now you're doing the what if scenarios, and that's fine. Except that, like you just said, but now we're here.
Right.
Now we're here.
But now we're here, and so what do we do now here? I still don't want boots in the ground. But
that's what it's gonna. That's what it's gonna take to win, Kevin.
I don't know if I believe that. I think we're still playing half-ass war right now because we're worried about what does the international community think and what do American people think.
Listen, that is a very valid point.
So I think we don't have to put boots on the ground if we play full-on FAFO.
You think that our air power is enough on its own to accomplish the mission?
Yeah,
I don't think that's the case, but you're entitled to your opinion.
Yeah, I think our air power and our naval power and our drone capabilities are more than enough to take care of it. Part of the reason why the Strait of Hormuz is closed is because we're not wiping every ship out of there that shouldn't be there.
The entire Iranian Navy is sunk.
Well, but they're still figuring out ways to lay mines.
Yes, through commercial trawlers, fishing boats, stuff like that, civilian vessels. And we cannot start lighting up every civilian vessel under suspicion. Like that's a fucking war crime, right? We can't do that. And I would not be okay with that. We have minesweepers for a reason.
Yeah.
And we have allies, by the way. We didn't even have a chance to touch tonight on the fact that we have a legitimate issue with Europe. Right. And as much as you might want to disagree with the premise, but Trump has this one right, because he reached out to all of our European partners and said, get your asses over here, help us clean up the fucking Strait of Hormuz, or go get your own fucking oil. Mm-hmm. And their response was, it's not our war. Now let that sink in for a second. Let it sink in. It's not our war, say the European leaders. Okay. And you know what Trump's response to that was? Anybody? Bueller?
Right.
Ukraine isn't our fucking war. But we're still fucking there, aren't we? We're still there. We're still providing them with everything they need. Wasn't our fucking war. And we've done everything. My son trained Ukrainian soldiers. Not our fucking war, right? But we didn't use that as an excuse to not get involved.
Yeah, I still think we need convoys. I think we need guided escorts. I think we need, if they want to control the strait, then we control both ends of the strait. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like we're at the east end or whatever it is, and the west end or whatever it is.
But before we put boots on the ground, we need to go in with said air superiority and soften everything.
Well, we have air superiority, Tom. We have air superiority.
But we haven't really softened that country up. I mean, they're still fighting. They're still shooting down aircraft.
If there's bridges still standing, we haven't softened them up.
So we go in and hit all the bridges and take out the power infrastructure, and then we put boots on the ground.
Well, and the last thing that I will leave with is this, based on everything that you guys have said tonight, and something that I think the people of Iran will listen to, right? I don't know. I mean, it's not like it's my job, right? I'm just speculating here, spitballing, okay? If I'm Trump, I'm telling the Iranians, if I have, look, we're going to fucking conquer you. It's either going to be with boots on the ground or not. And if I got to put boots on the ground, I'm not just conquering you, I'm taking all your fucking oil too. I would make sure that the Iranian people knew that their future, that the next 50 to 100 years in that country is going to be, they're going to be somebody's bitch if they don't fucking take their own country back. Because at some point you've got to say, okay, now I'm taking the gloves off. You're not going to do what needs to be done. We're going to do it, but you're going to fucking pay for it.
Well, I'll just say this: in November, Republicans better enjoy the supermajority they have and everything, because they're not going to have it.
They don't have a supermajority. They barely have a 3-vote majority.
I mean, as far as having control of the House, the Senate, and the White House, that the fact that they have that now, they're not going to have it after November.
No, probably not. But but Kevin, you're not going out on a limb to say that, dude. Historically speaking, 90% of the time, the incumbent in the White House loses control of the Congress. 90% of the time.
But if you remember 6 months ago, I said I thought this administration had the chance to buck that trend after the murder of Charlie Kirk and the sway and the promotion of conservative values.
Oh yeah, you're right. They did. They fucked that up.
Yeah, they fucked it up completely.
They fucked that up completely, yeah.
And they went from having a really strong poker hand to doubling down on a pair of twos.
Yeah, they got a pair of aces at least. But that ain't going to buy them much time, man. So anyway, all right, you guys.
I think in November they're losing both the House and the Senate. I think it's going to be a bloodletting. Hold on, before you go, you little schmuck. I have one other really quick question to ask you. And literally,
did you just call me a schmuck? Now I'm a Jewish prick. Okay.
Is that what schmuck means?
Yeah, it's Jewish for prick.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm sorry, Paul. You're a schmuck. Okay, so
I'm Polish, bitch.
Have you guys been following the Savannah Guthrie mom thing?
No.
Little bit.
No.
Nudge.
So I listened to a podcast about it at the end of last week, and she's been missing for 63 days. Savannah Guthrie's mom. 63 days. They've had hundreds of ransom messages, but they only believe 2 of them were valid. The Guthrie,
because there's some sick fuckers out there. Yeah.
But yeah, the family agreed that they would be willing to discuss and paying a ransom, and it never came to fruition. Her mom was on really serious medication that she had to take on a daily basis, statins and stuff for blood pressures and stuff like that.
And she had an internal defibrillator connected to her phone.
And that got shut off the night she was taken.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think she was dead that night, man.
63 days. I cannot imagine.
I'd be out of my mind.
It is and Savannah's coming back to the Today Show tomorrow morning.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't.
I appreciate where you're coming from, Kevin, but that's a social thing. Savannah Guthrie's mom missing. There was another disappearance down there within miles of Savannah Guthrie's house.
True. Mm-hmm.
Where a man disappeared. That man was a 4-star general in the Air Force. And you know what his job was in the Air Force?
Area 51 stuff, right?
He handled UFOs.
Yeah.
And
they still haven't found him here, right?
That's a serious fucking issue right there. Yeah. Nothing against Savannah Guthrie and her family. That's a sad story, but that's just a human interest story. We're talking about a 4-star general whose job it was to handle fucking UFOs. That's some serious shit.
And they still haven't found him, right? He's still on the lam?
No, he's missing. Yeah, he's still missing. And not only is he missing, but 18 other scientists and high-ranking military officials in the same program are also missing.
Wow.
They're all on their way to Alpha Centauri.
Well, listen, I listened to an interview with Savannah Guthrie on Friday, and it was with Hoda Kotb, who I can't stand, by the way. She is the worst interviewer I've ever met in my life. She's worse at interviews than Trojo. She asked Savannah, which I thought was a good question. It is possible. And I thought this was a good question. She said, do you ever feel like it might have been because of you?
What?
Because of your fame, because you're famous, because people perceive that you've got a lot of money. Do you ever think that played into it? I thought it was a great question. I thought it was a hard question. I thought it's a question that Hoda could ask because her and Savannah are friends.
Mm-hmm.
And Savannah said, I think about that every single day and it kills me. And I thought, what a horrible existence to live.
Mm-hmm.
Your mom is gone 63 days, probably dead.
Yep.
And you're going to blame yourself because you do what you do well. That's nuts. All right. Parting shots, Paul.
Yeah. If you're one of our sailors, soldiers, and airmen in Iran or off the coast or in a neighboring country, don't miss.
Margie said Congress has to declare war 2 months up. 2 months are not up. It's only just a little over 30 days. They have a 60 to 90 day window. I think there's some fluctuations in there.
That's correct.
So it's 60 to 90 days, depending upon scheduling, timing, when Congress is in, when Congress is out, all of that.
Right. Right.
But we're not past the 60 days yet, Margie.
No, we have another 30 days to go. She knows that. I think that's Margie's point. I think that's the point she's making.
She said 2 months up.
2 months up, like 2 months more to go.
Oh, okay. And then she also said, does Congress have to rubber stamp the war? No, not yet. They don't. And then she said, Iran has dumbed down their kids, programmed to resist, etc. Dumbed down is probably a gentle way of saying it. They've beaten their population into submission.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this is battered wife syndrome on a national
100%.
scale. Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Amber said, Kevin, you may need a muscle versus painkiller. Just saying. I need something for my back. Holy.
Well,
cow.
she's had a bad back for years. She just had surgery about 3 weeks ago.
It's probably really bugging her carrying you.
So, motherfucker, really? I will drive down to the studio right now just to bitch slap you on camera. Okay?
I'll be gone before you get here.
Be nice, Kevin. Be nice.
All right. Amber, just can you let us know how long Paul cries after the intimate moments? Because I've got the over under at 18 and a half minutes.
And I don't care.
All right. Paul, any other parting shots?
There are times, Kevin.
This is why when I ever find a woman, I will not even tell you about her so that you cannot poke fun at me about it.
You won't tell me about her because you're tired of those women reaching out to me after you ghost them, Kevin. Okay?
That's not even true.
Facts.
Really?
I don't ghost anybody. I'm a saint.
No, I'm a saint. You're Kevin.
All right. Any other parting shots, douche nozzle?
Yeah, after those last comments that you just made, yeah, I have a few, okay? All right. Grab your popcorn, Tom. Sit back. Who just fucking played Beavis and Butthead? Seriously, who just played Beavis and Butthead?
Dennis.
Only one
God
of us
dang you, Dennis. God dang you, Dennis. No, I got nothing. We're good. I'm going in and I'm...
I don't think you heard it. Play it again.
Check it out. I'm a gnat. Get it? I'm a gnat.
All right. Laura, do you have parting shots?
Have a great week, everybody. Tomorrow it's supposed to be 70. So if you
it's
need
71,
sunscreen, if you need sunscreen, please partake and, stay hydrated, all that lovely stuff. Remember, more people are going to be out and about on bicycles or motorcycles. Keep your head on a swivel while you're driving.
Yep. All right. Thank you, Lori. Dennis, do you have any parting shots, my friend?
No.
All right. Tom, do you have any parting shots?
Yes.
Go ahead, my friend.
April 11th, the night market is coming back to Town Square.
Hey.
So that's going to be the first one. Vendors will start setting up about 5 and will be open from 6 to 10.
Are you going to be open?
Oh
here
yeah,
at the
Black Ring
distillery?
Spirits will be
Okay.
open. I know there's a number of other businesses in the building that are going to experiment with being open to see how things go. I know we're getting kind of close to having a pretty good full contingent of vendors. I'm not quite sure what the number's at yet. But we ran this for a while, a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And it took a little while to build a head of steam, but it turned into something kind of fun.
Cool.
So, we're bringing it back. The first one's April 11th.
Nice.
All right.
And then the following Saturday, anybody?
Is WrestleMania, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, no, it's our 420.
Highway 420.
Highway 420.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Jesus, Tom, the biggest pothead on the show, couldn't remember 420. Oh my God.
No, the Dennis is the largest.
I would give that honor to
well, maybe by volume.
and
what?
For 420, yeah, I mean that's Monday, dude. I mean, and
but
Monday's my day.
But it's the God, Tom, you're killing me.
I know. No, actually,
Destination
Destination Highway 420 is going to be fun. I do believe we've got at least 3 or 4 of the crew.
I think we're all going to make an appearance.
Oh yeah, because I'll be there. Can I add something? Can I add something, Kevin?
Hold on, Lori's not coming down, but I'm going to come down for a little bit in the morning. Beeler's going to be there. Tom will be there. I'll be there. Dennis will be there. We would invite Trojo there, but they have a height requirement. Go ahead, Paul.
Oh.
So, and the 418 event is going to be great at Highway 420. So the weekend after, I have to double check the schedule, but the last Saturday, okay, is going to be, we're going to be doing our grand opening for our Woods Ball Field.
25th.
And I'm hoping that the Outlaw crew can come out, play paintball for the afternoon on Saturday. And we'll kind of go from there. If not, we can arrange it for a Sunday, but I don't know what everybody's schedule is, because we could arrange a private party and have the Outlaw crew and any of the listeners come out. And I was thinking we could, we could raffle off some opportunities to shoot the host with paintball guns. But
shoot Paul with a paintball gun. Perfect.
It's not that bad.
Not Kevin.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad, Tom. So I know Tom played a lot in his younger years, so I'm hoping I can count on Tom to be out there with me.
If my schedule works out, yes, I will come out and absolutely go play some ball.
Very good. So just remember
video.
Yeah. Oh, we'll get some video for sure. So that'll be the last Saturday of April. And I know that many people have messaged me. They're looking forward to seeing the video of the largest mouth on Outlaw Radio. That would be Beeler, either getting lit up like a Christmas tree or lighting up Kevin like a Christmas tree. So we'll see how that goes. Kevin, there is no excuse, son. If you need to take off from your time at your other job to be there on Saturday, we expect that you're going to do it.
Just confirm the date. I'll make sure I'm there. Couple comments in chat. Kevin says, great show as usual. Kevin, stop saying nice things to me. I'm going to think you like me.
Kevin Nelson can come out and play paintball with us too.
Yeah, you could. Amber posted just 4 laughing while crying, smiling face emojis. I imagine she's looking at naked pictures of Paul.
No. Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Okay.
No, Paul made her laugh and cry last night all at the same time.
She saw his credit score.
There's
okay.
no questions.
No, it was just double click in the mouse and in out repeat if necessary.
And it was the best 68 seconds of her life.
Fuck you, asshole. It was like 2 hours. I fucking almost fell asleep, man.
You almost fell
God,
asleep.
you're a jackass, Kevin.
You almost fell asleep, or she almost fell asleep. All right. My parting shots are as follows. 1, I think I need a plumber at the house. I can't.
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh at your.
I tried to get it to unclog, and then my son came over with a snake, and we disassembled the P-trap, and that didn't work. And
oh my God,
I don't have a kitchen sink right now.
Do you have Drano?
Tried Drano already. Tried baking soda and vinegar. Tried a snake.
Kevin just learned why you don't pour bacon grease down your sink.
No. We don't do bacon grease. And I'm sure. Hold on. Stop. I've never poured bacon grease down the sink for 2 reasons. 1,
it's your story, brother. You tell it how you want.
And 2, you say the bacon grease so you can cook stuff in it later. Bacon grease is like, yeah. So if you have a recommendation for a plumber that won't.
Hey, let's do this. Tom, should you and I go to Kevin's house and tear up his plumbing?
You guys laugh. It's not funny. I don't have a kitchen sink right now. It is.
It's fucking hilarious.
It is the worst thing. I can't even cook my kids' meals right now.
Kevin, break, I
do you know how hard it was to cook Easter
No.
dinner tonight without a sink? Literally.
No, because the real man keeps the sink clean.
You know what? Next time you come to me and you ask for help, and you're like, you know what, Kevin, I'm thinking about working on my VA benefits and trying to get a higher rating. You know what I'm going to say to you? A real fucking man does his own fucking paperwork, you fucking fucker. Fuck, I hate you. Belittle me like that. You're a prick and a half.
Are you home? Hold on. Are you home tomorrow?
Die in a fire.
Hold on. Calm yourself down, Kevin. Are you home tomorrow?
Dealers should really be here.
I'll be
Hold
home
on. Hold on. Now, let me ask a serious question. Your son took a snake to your plumbing, right? Was it a manual snake or was it a powered snake?
It was a manual. That's all we had.
Okay.
It was a manual.
Well, I have a powered snake I will bring over, okay?
Is
Are
that
you
the
home
one-
tomorrow?
Is that the one that keeps Amber interested in a long-term relationship with you?
Oh my gosh, Kevin, gross.
Wow, dude.
All right.
Wow. Okay.
No, I'll be home all day tomorrow.
Oh, after that comment?
But hold on, but listen, but just keep this in mind. We took the P trap off and went into the pipe past the P trap and still couldn't find where it was at.
How far?
I don't know how long the snake was.
And remind everybody.
I wasn't there when he did it.
You're on a septic, right?
I am on septic,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, you may also have a blockage
In your septic.
I was just gonna say, especially in the J.
It's greening fine.
Oh, is
You know,
it?
but
Okay.
you can have a blockage in your J box on your septic tank, so which
Yeah,
brings stuff
that'll
in from 3 different directions. So
But that'll still affect the whole house.
Yeah, and keep in mind that the whole downstairs, which is a lower gravity point, is draining fine. It's just the upstairs kitchen sink.
Yeah, it's your sink.
wow, yeah, well, I mean, that clearly tells you just don't have the length you need.
And that's what she said. All right. My other parting shot is
Scintillating conversation.
Let's just be I just want to say I hope everybody has had a wonderful Easter. I hope that you guys are enjoying the weather change. Please turn off your heaters and stop using all your power because PSE wants to raise your rates by another 30%. Another, not in addition to the 30% they've already raised it.
They just raised them.
I know. They are now asking for permission to raise them another 30%. So please reach out to your elected officials.
I am thankful I live in Belfair where we're on Mason County PUD number 3.
You are so lucky.
Well, reach out to your elected representatives, reach out to PSE, make noise, tell them you cannot and will not support that. And if they don't intervene, you will vote for somebody who will. I don't usually ask for bigger government. I need bigger government now. And I need government to intervene and stop these consistent rate hikes because we can't.
Well, your bigger government approved the rate hikes.
Well, again, I hear you. I'm just saying we need intervention now.
Yes.
So, Margie, last quote. Margie, our electric system is more complicated, not connected. Meltdown relative to boat people. I don't know what that means, Margie.
The boat people were coming from Vietnam.
Row
Cambodia.
your boat gently down the stream. Dennis, you can play butt music whenever you want to. We're ready. Hey, Paul, will you be in studio next week?
Yes.
Okay. Frank Aquila will be joining us in the first hour. Beeler will join us for the last 2 hours.
Well, that'll make Beeler happy.
She already commented about it in chat.
I saw that.
Yeah. But Beeler's happy to come in a little bit later so she can relax a little and then and join us. Paul, tell Amber we said hello and we're sorry for the disappointment she's about to experience in the bedroom. Tom, tell Heather we said hello and she's lucky to have a man like you. Lori, I have some batteries in the car for your toy. And Dennis, God, man, you're sexy. That's all I got. Good night, everybody. Outlaw Radio Network, a presentation of Black Ring Spirits, the official home of Outlaw Radio. You can even stop in and say hi to us when we do the show on Sunday nights. Also brought to you by Destination Highway 420, the official cannabis supplier of Outlaw Radio Network. If you think the show is good now, you should try listening to it when you're high. Find them on Hollis Street in Bremerton, across the street from Cloverleaf. And brought to you by Kitsap Great Escape, the official escape room of the Outlaw Radio Network. You know what Outlaw Radio Network and Escape Room have in common? When women do that or hang out with me, they want to escape. New room coming. The Lunar Curse is coming. Yeah, think a little bit Harry Potter, a little bit of Wizard, a little bit of Wizard
like
School.
Werewolfy?
There's a werewolf involved.
Okay, so question: do you have to have read?
No, you don't. It's not Harry Potter because of
okay, perfect.
because of copyright stuff, but same ilk. Anyway, find out more. Check them out at outlawradionetwork.com. Like them on Facebook for when the announcement comes of the new show. That concludes our episode. Paul, you are free to disappoint your woman. Good night, everybody.